Hello everyone, good evening. I'm here with Chamberlain today. My name is Bozamox, and we're here today with a beautiful match where NightWolves will be competing against Votum Gaming. And hello Chamberlain, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's things? I've been away for a couple of days. Been a little bit busy and whatnot. I haven't had a chance to keep up with ESA, so I'm hoping you can clue me in a little bit.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I mean, we had a great first week, of course, of the playoffs where the various teams already played against each other. I mean, let me just quickly. Actually, we can just bring up the bracket right here on the screen. Of course, it's a beautiful thing for us to talk about. Of course, this screen is a little bit big for us to show on the screen, so let's just zoom in on the part of the upper brackets, which we of course had playing last week. Of course, a total of 4 matches were played where NightWolves played against Tracker Clan, and due to a very unfortunate match for NightWolves there, they lost with a 0-2, and for that reason they're currently in the lower bracket, of which we'll see a match of them today as well. Then we of course also had the Penta versus MVG Germany match, again a 0-2 score. And then also Entropy Gaming and Molotov Gang UK, which was again a 2-0 score. So those 3 matches, only we saw 2 out of 3 maps. But then for the final map, which was a match which was actually played yesterday, which was guested by Odenex and Piercing, we had a very cool match between Maniac Suiciders and E-Wave, where we in the end saw all 3 maps, and it was a 1-2 score. But in the end, E-Wave was the team that was victorious. Then, of course, for today, we're going to head to the lower brackets, where either some teams are starting here because they ended 4th in their group, or some of the teams were lost last week in the upper brackets, and this is where we're at right now. So today is NightWolve eSports versus Votum Gaming, and that's the match that we're going to see today, as again, of course, in a BO3 format. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, so very interesting match, of course. I'm very excited to see this match, and I'm actually very curious what the community is thinking of this match. I mean, what do you think? Are you siding with one of the 2 teams, or do you think these teams will be very even, well matched?
If you have to twist my arm, I'm probably thinking NightWolves, to be honest. But I'm hoping for a close game. The thing is, obviously, I prefer the. I don't know about you, but I prefer the lower brackets, to be honest, because there's risk. You don't have that in upper bracket. Upper bracket, everybody's just playing, I still have a life. If we lose, then it doesn't really matter. Lower bracket, you lose, you're out. You're done. That's it. You're going home, up the road. See you later. But don't have that situation today. We have to play for this. They have to go through. They have to get a win. Yeah,
for me as well. Like even last week, I was also siding for NightWolves. Really, it was very unfortunate that they started the first map in a 4 versus 5 situation due to one of their team members being too late, which was super unfortunate. I think they could have possibly won their upper bracket first match. Obviously they didn't, which is very unfortunate. But maybe today they have a next chance against Votum. But let's actually see what the community is expecting of this match of today. Okay, that's a 31% for NightWolves versus a 69% of Votum. And if I'm actually going to look quickly on Twitter, that's a total of 49 votes. That's actually a huge amount. I think the biggest amount of votes that we have seen so far. Some very interesting information for us casters here to think about. Clearly, the community is really siding with Votum here, which is it's a pretty big difference between these 2 teams. So it's promising to be a very cool match. I'm hoping that we're going to see every single map today. But before we know which maps are actually going to be played, let's take a look at the map ends for today.
Ooh, let's go for it. Let's see where we're going. Please don't be boring. Please no Oregon. Please no Oregon. Please no Oregon.
Oregon is one of those maps I've always seen so many times. Like, I don't know if you have any looks at the stats right now. Yeah, actually, I got them right here.
Yeah.
Actually, Oregon was actually picked 3 times in total in the playoffs, together with Clubhouse and Chalet. All those 3 maps were picked a total of 3 times. Maybe we didn't see every single map all 3 times, as of course they can be decider maps, but still, it's a pretty big number. And let's just take a look which map is going to be played today. They're going to be popping up on the stream any second.
I had to take a guess. I'm feeling Chalet, Cafe, and Villa.
Cafe, Chalet, and Villa.
If I had to take a guess, I'm completely blind. I don't have anything. I'm completely learning this as we go through. Of course, stream. Oregon's banned, so that's good.
That's one thing that's certainly going to make you happy. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I'm happy to see Oregon banned away, because I'm quite surprised actually that it's getting banned away. First of all, we've Votum were the first ones to ban it away. You've got Sky banned away. Theme, not surprised at Theme going at all. No one's played Theme at all. Really, we played 5 times across the whole competition. Chalet ban, no one's an interesting one. Of course, 19 times. Been played this entire competition, so I am quite surprised that it's not slipped through so far. But Villa, that one, I'm not surprised to see Villa. That's on its 20th time being played. Cafe, I kind of call the Cafe a little bit because Cafe's a best of 3 map for some reason. People love playing it a best of 3, so I'm not surprised to see Cafe. But I'm interested. I'm hoping to see something spicy for the last one. But no, we're gonna go to club. So relatively straightforward map. Something we've seen before. Anyway, at least tried and true stuff.
Yeah, just quickly seeing also which sides we're going to be playing at. Of course, now it's known. We will be heading to Villa first, where it will be NightWolves on the attack and Votum on the defense. We then head seconds to Cafe Dostoevsky, where it will be NightWolves on the defense and Votum on the attack. If for whatever reason we will go to the third map, of course, it will be picked after those first 2 maps being played, because the team who played the least rounds or has the least rounds against them, so basically the round difference, will decide which team can pick the site on the third map. So now we actually know that we're going to Villa and Cafe Dostoevsky, and then of course potentially Clubhouse, which I'm hoping to. Of course, it will be cool to see all 3 maps being played today. What does this change anything for you, for your prediction of this match for today? Were these maps expected?
I think I'm still going to go against the community. I know that NightWolves lost. I know they lost 2-0, right? I know that happened in the upper bracket. However, I think I want to go back to the consistency that they had in the groups. They are, when you compare them against Votum, Votum come into this in the lower bracket already. They start in the lower bracket. Because of where they've placed. They placed in they placed 12 points. They were 4th in the group, so they just got through in the skin of their teeth. They were actually equal on points with Revolut. It came down to the actual mini games a little bit. So they just squeaked in. Whereas NightWolves were actually a bit more convincing. They were second in the group to behind, only behind one of the teams that completely undefeated in the groups, which is Villains. They were on 21 points. So they, NightWolves finished on 17 to get through, and I think I'm going to go with NightWolves. So I'm going to go against the predictions. I'm going to hope that I'm right at least a little bit.
Yeah, there was also one thing I was checking earlier. It's actually one of the interesting facts that Wikipedia can provide to us. Of course, we need to keep in mind that Votum is a much longer existing team compared to NightWolves. But if we actually look at Wikipedia, we can actually see that in general, like overall, NightWolves eSports has a 75% win rate, while Votum Gaming actually has a 71% win rate. So that's a super close win rate in terms of percentage. Like I said, Votum exists for much longer, so they have a lot of more matches are counted into their percentage compared to NightWolves. But still, that's kind of showing that this match might be very well matched match for today. And that's exactly what I'm hoping to see. It will be very cool to see a very cool match where we're going to every single map, all 3 of them, potentially even going to overtime here and there. But it's at least it's promising so far to be a very cool match, and I believe that all the players are ready. Let me just quickly check. Yes, everyone seems to be in their hand cams as well, so this match can basically start in a fair manner as well. Let's just jump into the first game for today.
Sure, let's go for it. Now, before we go into the ball operator bans and whatnot, I will just touch on the map a little bit.
Excuse me.
Just because I'll touch on the maps just purely because I'm a little bit surprised. And this is where maybe the experience of Votum is actually kind of it's a little bit strange to me, because they've banned away 2 maps that maybe would be a good idea to take through. Looking at last week's fixtures, NightWolves lost Oregon 7-0 against Tracker. They got absolutely demolished on Oregon. Yeah. They then lost Chalet 8-6. So I can understand the Chalet ban. That's cool. That's fine. No problem with that. They got themselves to overtime last week, so not surprised to see that one being banned away anyway. And with how much Chalet has been played, I can kind of see maybe they got a little bit of fatigue. But the Oregon ban, if to me, if I'd seen my team, the other team or my opponents had got 7-0 on Oregon, Oregon's one of the ones where Penga said it great, right? As where good teams go to die is the way Oregon is, because almost anyone can get a result on Oregon. Yeah. That especially if Mira's open or whatnot, it's almost anything. So to get 7-0 on Oregon is actually quite an achievement. So if I was Votum, I would have been I'm going to take them to Oregon, but they've not done it. They've taken them instead. They've gone to Villa first. So it's a bit surprising for me. But if you want to go for the bans, Max, tell us what's happening with those.
Yeah, of course, happening. The operator bans happening right now. Of course, 3 of them already appeared on the screen. First one is Ying, which is a quite interesting one. I don't think Ying, we have seen her too many times yet. Of course, Ying's can be super destructive if used correctly, if there's some really good teamwork going on, which I'm expecting should be very possible with these kind of themes. We did see her 11 times, so 12% out of all the total bans. So it's a very interesting one, where Flores we do see a bit more often. Very good at destructing certain kinds of utility and clearing certain areas. has, followed by a Thunderbirds, of course, a great healing operator, very useful. Just can place her gadgets and play very passively after that. She can just do whatever she wants. Her gadgets will do a thing. And then the final thing, Azami, the kind of like architect operator. I can just shape the map to whatever she likes. And with a map like Villa with so many long line of sight, so much destruction, so many different rooms, I do think that Azami can be a very strong operator here as well. One little thing I wanted to point out though, like we were talking about the 07 on Oregon for a NightWolves versus Tracker. Of course, that was also partly due to the fact that, of course, NightWolves was playing with four players instead of 5.
Yes, you mentioned that. Yes.
So that's one little thing we do need to point out, of course. It was not the most fair matchup.
Of course.
It's important.
I'll give credit to them then.
Yeah, of course, it's important for your entire team to be on time, so it's entirely their own fault. But still, the result might not be as well reflective as you would imagine it to be.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Even still, I'd still argue that Oregon, you can pick up a couple of rounds, even in a 45.
Yes, they got sometimes they got actually very close because it was me and Uncooked casting the game. It was exactly 1 week ago. It was also on Monday. So they got close a couple of times, but in the end, like I can just imagine they were feeling so bad during that match. The morale must have been so low, and yeah, of course those things don't work in your advantage. But enough about that match of NightWolves. Of course, we now have NightWolves versus Votum, and that's what we should be talking about. And things actually have been going on. I mean, Shinji is injured. Was it a Froster? No, they don't even have Frost. I'm not entirely sure what happened here. Maybe it was the Jaeger from the bedroom door?
Yeah, it's from the bedroom door, yeah. Prize is just waiting for it, just wait for the hop in. He was able to get himself a double almost, with Blacklist in there for the refrag, instantly gets the kill, and still downed inside the closet is the Nomad of Shanks. Just waiting for that revive to come through, which will likely come through in just a few seconds. Of course, 2 minutes has already ticked away, or sorry, a minute even, and now 2 minutes is on the clock. C4 goes up, but doesn't connect. And now it's just going to be a little bit of a stalemate where both teams are just going to wait and, you know, feel each other out a little bit, get a little bit comfortable on the map. The early kind of aggressions came out, and then they just kind of, this next kind of 30 to 40 seconds will just be kind of figuring out where they can go from the attackers. So you have this angle being held here from Flipper, waiting for someone to come through that door, and that is exactly what happened. Blacklist obliges with that, pushes through, but immediately pulls back, takes a little bit of damage, doesn't want to take any more than what he already has. The rotates came around for Banquist all the way up towards that astronomy staircase, spots the player inside of Trophy, but remember, this site's actually Aviator. They're nowhere near the site. They're not even able to get any map control. Eventually, they do concede the defenders. They want to pull all the way back, and they do give that up to them. NightWolves are not in a good situation, Max. What's going on here?
They're certainly taking a lot of time, like only 1 minute really remaining from this point, and just have cleared the northern side of the map. And like you're saying, it has all to do with the southern side of the map where the bomb site is located. And I think just most of the operators or defenders have fallen back towards the bomb site. Just the Mew playing on the hallway, who's also now fallen back. And I do think that's a pretty good timing from the defensive team, of course. They can just now play a bit more safe, let the attackers come at them. They don't have that much time anymore, and even less HP really. But as the ace charges now will come out, things start to become a bit more possible for the attacking team, especially as they have been able to deal with the Mew Jammer and therefore are open to open up the vault wall to give him a new entry point / line of sight. But still, they're in a very tricky position. 3 players fairly low in HP versus 4 defenders who are still alive in a very good, with a good, very decent amount of HP. Meanwhile, Black is actually hopping in, but actually getting found by Smash, who's watching through the open mirror window. Flipper with a kill on Bank, but Phantom with a kill on Oppenheimer. It's a 2 versus 2 situation as Phantom and Oppenheimer Shanks both get a kill, and as Phantom unfortunately gets injured, it's all coming down to the remaining player of NightWolve. But then, of course, it's I'm saying correctly, yes. The final player of NightWolve who then got taken out, and that's the first round. Then going to Votum.
Yeah, I really need to compliment the way the Votum played that. Their roam was amazing. They really wasted so much time. There was down to about 1 minute and 17 seconds before they even got a sniff of the site door for the attackers there for NightWolves. But the real good play was at the end, where they recognised that all of the push was going to be dedicated from coming from that north side. Every single player was coming from there. Votum knew exactly where they're going to be coming from, so they could organise themselves in that. They opened the mirror window themselves inside the study. They had that in there to face towards study. They open it up, so they have the reverse angle, so they have that extra angle to hold from study. Of course, you know, they were wise to it, so, you know, NightWolves get the swing onto it, but then it comes back to bite them at the end, and eventually they get that kill. So, well played from Votum. Both roam clear and that use utility at the end. It's nice to see, and they get themselves around them a bit. And you know, we're going to go to Trophy and try something different here. I'm hoping NightWolves are a little bit better prepared for this roam.
Yeah, of course, it was a very good round indeed for Votum. They did pick the attacks, of course, so you would expect them to get at least some rounds, at least 3 or 4 rounds out of this first half, and they made a good start to do so. Of course, this map was picked by NightWolve. That's the reason why Votum could pick the side, but still, it's a good start for Votum to open up this first map and match of today. Yeah, again, of course, still the members of NightWolves on the attack right now, where they're actually making a quick approach towards the building. I believe Nick is already trying to enter from the balcony. Of course, it's called is not there. It's of course the laundry area. For she's trying to make her way into the kitchen dining area, just trying to do some early damage on. She needs to be very careful because one player, Flipper, that is the Capcan, is playing right below her. Easy to miss, especially if they don't check the basements, which of course is a very easy thing to do, as the basement is not a very high traffic area, since there's not a single bomb site located whatsoever. But still, Nock needs to be very careful because the Capcan can easily flank her.
Yeah, I like to see people using that basement because it's never utilized enough. You know, it's such a big part of the map, and people just completely forget it's there. Well, we just make that discussion. No, Shinji's opens up the scoreboard and says this round and finds the Mozzie of Oppenheimer, and Flipper, they'll go in for that rotate that you mentioned, and Nock has to be really careful here, and I think she's going to get caught lacking inside of Dyna, but misses the shot. Oh, the flick from Bankmans! What is going on, Matt? Flipper had the upset from behind, no problem at all, and misses his shots, and look at that, we're on a 5 versus 3.
That's so embarrassing. That must be a very embarrassing moment, especially for the player to watch that back, and also the view of all the community members. But of course, the round has been going on. Black has been another killer on Snowball, and just things are falling apart for both of them. There's only 2 members remaining versus the 5 attackers. Price currently playing here in Trophy Entrance, with Smash is playing in landing. They don't even have side control. The first attacker's already being inside of the bomb site as well. It's just a matter of seconds before Phantom hops in and goes for the defuse, but in the end he does. But it's just the final 2 defenders getting taken out. The Defuse are not even needing to go down, and that's just a round for the attacking team, which is then NightWolves, and therefore the score is now put on an equal 1-1 score.
Much better from NightWolves, so much better on that attack there. I mean, they did get a little bit lucky, of course, you know, Flipper, you know, missed shots a little bit. You know, we won't focus too much on that, we'll let them off. It's the first couple of rounds, it's okay, they're just feeling each other out, they're warming up, whatnot, you know, it happens, okay? We'll let it go. It's okay to do that this early, you know, if you're doing that in the second map, then that's when we have issues, but it's okay, we'll just move past that.
Shit happens.
However, the actual roam play was pretty good. I was gonna start to, you know, maybe discuss NightWolves and the idea that they probably shouldn't play into the roam game and maybe go for a straight site take, because at one point there was only one person on site. They could have went to Master, they could have cleared Master and cleared Bathroom with no contention whatsoever. You had 2 players over towards the aviator side, you had a player down in the basement, and the other player was just lurking near the kind of the top of the red staircase, and the last player inside the site. So they had an opportunity to do that if they wanted to. Of course, they played into the roam clear. They roam cleared pretty well. They've got players downstairs. I'm not 100% sure where they found Oppenheimer. I think he was across towards aviator side to start the game, so I'm assuming that's where that pick came from. So it was a great clear from them, and it's nice to see them countering the aggression, countering the roam as well, and it means I think that we're going to get a pretty good matchup here.
Yeah, I surely think so too. Like, especially if we look at the predictions, our own prediction, the community prediction, the stats that we saw on Wikipedia, everything is pointing this to be a very close match. And then, of course, the first 2 rounds as well, being a 1-1 score at this moment, it looks very promising to me. And this is exactly what I was hoping for, a very close match between 2 very good teams as well. And yeah, like I'm saying, just hoping that we see all 3 maps and potentially even some overtime, because then my evening will be fully filled, fully amused, and I'll be very happy.
Oh yes, I'd love it. I'd love some 3 maps. I don't, you know, it's the good thing about when it comes to playoffs and whatnot is the best 3, because what happens in, you know, best of 1s is you just don't see enough. There's just not enough seeds. You're guaranteed a second map with playoffs. You know, so if things go wrong in the first map, you've at least got another crack at it, and you can try and amend things. And it looks as though Shanks is going to try and do that for the side of NightWolves and push it all the way into towards Study. But Oppenheimer's going to get the first kill on the round. He finds Blacklist, and they're still trying to clear through the Study side. They've got a minute left, or a minute gone off of the clock already, and Oppenheimer's still wedged into games, and he can't quite get him out yet. They're just kind of thinking a little bit, you know, they've dropped that early pick, the Bucks came off, they've brought the Amaru as well with an idea of using it, but they haven't been able to do anything with it as of yet. Phantom seem to think there's one at the top of the main stairs, but there isn't anyone there as of yet. Shanks though, pushing up, double up towards Study, but Smash is going to get one onto Banquiz, and look at this 3 versus 4 as Shinji's able to find Flipper, and no whiffs on this round for Flipper as he's now been dealt with early on. 1 minute and 25 seconds on the clock though, but can Oppenheimer win this one out versus Shinji? No, we can't. It's the Ayana to win it out, and it's a 3 versus 3 scenario with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, only 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. It's an even 3 versus 3 with Snowball traces. Damage quite a bit versus Shinji. Just damage a little bit. So technically, NightWolve's being in a very good position with still 1 minute on the clock. They did have some proper study control, but they have just now just decided to completely abandon the control, go for a completely rotation towards the other side of the map, which could surely work very well as it might confuse the defending team. But one thing they need to be very careful of is the Frost still playing in the walk-in closet. Something the attacking team very likely would not expect. Also, various Frost traps even waiting for them in both the windows on walk-in closet and the bathroom. So the attacking team needs to be extremely careful because Snowball Trace is waiting for them, and this might become a very dangerous situation. Shinji, however, with the kill their prize, but then of course the Frost comes into play, finds Shanks. It's a 2 versus 2 situation with Phantom still on the outside. Shinji very low on HP on landing, trying to find the players currently on the bomb side, but he's struggling. The time is just running out. There's just 15 seconds remaining with Snowball not getting kill Phantom, and a smash one kill on Shinji, and that's all the 2 remaining attackers losing their lives in a very short amount of time. Meaning this round is going to Votum.
Yeah, I mean, I commend Votum's, you know, at the end there winning his gunfights, but really that does come down to a mistake from NightWolves there. Okay, sure, you can go for the rotate round, it's fine. I think that the call was made that it was clear on Master side, but I think the mistake is made where I think it was Shanks who took a 1v1 with the Frost, which is Snowball, which is in the closet, because I've seen the damage tick off, and it was Shanks was the only one on that side of the map that could have done that. So I'm just making assumptions here as to what, because I didn't feel like catch the full engagement, but that's likely what's happened. They've made the call that only the Frost is on that side and the low HP, and they've just been, you know what, well, let's go over there, let's pinch them out and see if they get the kill. But they just forget to check the corners. It's simple, basic stuff. Hop in the window, and the Snowball's able to get himself a kill, and then the ace is forced. You know, 15 seconds on the clock. You have to just try and take a gunfight and see if you can win the round. And you know, unfortunately, you're just coming into the 1.5 extended barrel on Frost, and it hits hard and it gets the kill, and that's it for Votum. So a missed opportunity there for NightWolves, I think. And you know, I still think though that we're getting a close game. I still feel like the NightWolves are definitely in it. They're definitely landing a couple of shots on the Votum, and they're looking pretty comfortable. Shinji with a massive 3k as well was almost on the hunt for a 4, but just not enough HP at the end. And it's been a good match so far.
It certainly has been a good match so far, and just going on and on between these 2 teams so far. Of course, it's only round 3 that we just passed. We're just heading into round 4, and one of the interesting operators to point out is, of course, the Blitz that's being picked. It's an operator we don't see too often, especially if Blitz is played well, like with someone even backing up potentially. He can be so incredibly strong. Of course, he does need to be careful with the Mew Jammers we do impact his gadget, but as he's actually rushing in after the Gun 6 came out, of course, it's Warden, the worst opponent he could literally find himself against, but still is working. Warden is distracted, gets injured by one of his teammates. C4 gets even thrown, perfect way to bait the C4, a bit of utility, as the mirror is getting flashed, he's getting shot in the back as well, but unfortunately not out. She didn't do some HP, but it's still in the game. But at least attackers did make their opening, got first player, and got the second as Blacklist. He's just waiting watching the flank from the front entrance, and this is a very good start for the attacking team. But even that getting another kill on Oppenheimer, leading things to a 5 versus 2 situation.
Well, very, very quick there. A minute there. This is one of the quickest rounds we've had. The last couple of rounds, they've taken their time, and this time they are not messing around, though. Flipper trying to get aggressive onto the shield, but there is not much to be done in terms of damage this because it's pretty light on the HP count there, but Shinji's comes out and closes out the round. Phantom with a kill at the same time. Flawless round coming out for the attacking side at NightWolves, and it was a wonderful round to start with. Of course, the rush coming through, and I was getting ready to criticize it a little bit because it looked as though they were going to stall and they were just going to wait at the top of the main stairs, and they didn't really have an idea. It was one of those ones where did we stick, did we twist, did we go, and they weren't really sure, but eventually they did commit to it and they got the round, and that's 2 each. So it's been a wonderful start to this game.
Yeah, I must say a very smart pick of NightWolves to actually bring the Oza and have her just watch the flank. Like it's something that gets just forgotten about so often when rushes are happening. Like so many times when rushes are happening, everyone's focus is just getting inside of the bomb site, getting towards the people as soon as possible. But just having that Oza on the flank is so smart because of course when the rush is happening, every single roamer wants to head back to the bomb site as soon as possible to assist their teammates who are possibly outnumbered. And just having someone watch a flank on such a strong position is just so useful. The Jaeger didn't even get the chance to make his way towards the stairs, and just one less thing for the other members to worry about, which was very successful.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Villa, is that because it's only got 3 staircases and you have that narrow choke point in the middle at the top of the landing staircase, you can really lock off that one side of the map just with that one staircase. You just need to hold main stairs, and as long as you hold that flank, no one can come up from behind you unless they have an Oryx to hop up the hatch, which they didn't. So they have brought the Oryx. Maybe that's what they've brought for this time. I doubt it. It's probably just because there's a 1.5 involved. Let's be honest here. I don't think it's really any strategy in it. Price almost a little bit of damage there inside the study. Just going for the spawn peak, but from the other side of the window, there is someone to send a couple of shots in. Doesn't find anything there. It's Banquez that's out there with the Jackal, and Jackal on Villa could be a big one, especially when there is a lingering Vigil floating around, Max.
Yeah, Vigil, one of the monster roamers together with the Oryx, both really good at relocating themselves, at denying information. Of course, the Vigil is very good at that, and Jackal is, of course, a perfect counter for either of those two. Dealing with these two robots, of course, is high priority for the attacking team, because as long as they are left alive, it can be a very big struggle. We have already seen some flanks happening, and just with those roaming around, flanks can happen, and it's of course something the attackers do not want. Filippo did get injured there for a bit, but luckily it was the Warden being able to jump in to save him. But was also smashed, getting a kill there on Shanks, taking out the Nomads, which should make roaming a little bit more easy for the defending team, as potentially Nomad did not play all of her utility yet. But still, either way, it's a 4 versus 5, which is of course a big win for the defending team.
Yeah, an early pick there coming on to Shanks there. I don't think they were expecting that NightWolve, so I think they were really having a good time. They got the down onto Flipper there. Obviously, they won't know that because, of course, points aren't on. For those of you that aren't tuned into comp or don't play comp and whatnot, points are, of course, not on, so you can't actually tell if you've downed someone through a wall. And so, yeah, the Flipper was down the side of C4 is going to find Phantom there. Snowball, that's the first one on the round for utility there, and it's nice to see the C4s landing. I like a good C4 kill myself, Max.
Yeah, that's even a fully blind C4. Of course, I didn't have any sort of intel on those players, potentially just the sound or some holes that were made. And Blacklist, however, with a kill there on prize for the first defender losing his life, and then Filippo with another kill, leaving this round in a 2 versus 4. But as we speak, Oppenheimer gets a kill there on Blacklist, but then gets refragged by Shinji and gets another one there on Flipper. A beautiful double kill there from Shinji, leaving himself in a 1 versus 2 situation with still 40 seconds on the clock, which is a decent amount of time, especially with 1 nade still remaining, 1 drone remaining, and of course the ability of Yana, which she can help, because she can use to scout ahead for herself. So if she's smart with her time, just scouts a little bit, tries to know the nade, which might connect, and does such a nice nade there. Does he get the final one? Snowball with his position? No, yes, he does. The shotgun in the hand of the Mute. Of course, the range is not ideal on this distance. And then a very beautiful shot here from the Yana, taking out the final defender, and a beautiful way to work around the rounds there for NightWolves, putting the score on 3-2, and then NightWolf for NightWolf winning 2 rounds in a row and taking the lead.
Outstanding work there from Shinji. I mean, to get the 180 kill was outstanding to get that, but then to play the use of the utility so well. I was about to mention just before we continue with the cast, I was about to say that he still has 2 nades after getting that double kill. So in a 1v2 situation, having 2 nades, and he utilised them so well. One just put onto the doorway just to bait the fact that, I'm going to rush in this door and I'm going to use a nade to do it. That's what it looked like. That's exactly what they're waiting for. The Mute playing inside a Memorial, waiting for that push as soon as the nade went off, but no, he's actually upstairs. And of course, that is the perfect angle to hold, because that's the only other way you're going to come from, because you want to have the cross angle on the Memorial door. That's where they've showed it. There's only 2 places they're going to come from, and it's either going to be the Memorial door or it's going to be the kitchen door. That's the only 2 places that you would realistically think that Shinji was going to come from, and that is exactly, he played into that knowledge, and it's pure game sense there. It was beautifully done. So he lets them build the cross angle because he knows they're going to be there. Knows one's going to be on the rotate. Knows one's going to be in Memorial. And he just pops the nade down. Easy peasy. Gets the kill. Because in that situation, the Moz is just listening for someone to come around the kitchen or holding that cross. That's basically what they're doing. So nade comes down, finds a kill, and then he goes downstairs. And then at that point, let's be honest, the Mute's never going to win that 1v1 because Shinji's just got a triple kill. He's just basically wasted the entire team, and no one was ever really going to win that one. No one was going to take that from him, and he gets Snowball, gets the kill, and Shinji wins it out for them. A wonderful round, and of course, we're just starting off here. Looks like a west side take here for the Blacklist on the Buck, and he's just going to start sweeping through, bringing the drone through to try and find the player inside the living room, and we'll get started on this kitchen attack.
Yeah, we did see the Buck already opening one of the windows there of Mushroom fairly early on. Of course, Muzzy was playing fairly close and was aware of the situation and just baits it out, just waits for the Buck to finish droning, hides himself from the drone, and it gets a beautiful kill there on Blacklist. We will also Bankers getting taken out. I'm not exactly sure what happened there or who got the kill, but in the end, might actually have been here at this door already. Yes, Nick just rush in. Not just rush in from the laundry door. That's very interesting. But this already, of course, leads to this round to be in a 3 versus 5 situation in the advantage of the defending team. Ace just throwing some of his ace charges, which unfortunately are being jammed by New Jammer, I believe. Yes, they are. Very unfortunate. Shanks currently also playing there in the pantry. Not being able to do too much unless he can find the New Jammer and take it out. Then he potentially will have a chance, but as he gets taken out by the C4 of Shanks, it's a 2 versus 5 situation with only 2 attacks alive. But as Shinji gets kills in Snowball, but gets refragged by Price, it's all coming down to Phantom.
Yep, and a 1 versus 4 situation, 1 minute and 20 seconds, so plenty of time to deal with it and try and win this one out, but there's not a great situation now. Of course, not really any inroads made into the map. It has to hop in pantry. That sound hole will be there. The sound of Q will be there for Price, and exactly that swings out, gets the kill, and closes out the round for the side of Votum to make it an equal half before we switch over. And I was gonna mention this the last round before Shinji obviously popped off and shut everybody up, but I was gonna just very quickly mention that they're playing into the roam. This is what they're trying to do. They played into it, they tried to counter it, and it hasn't really worked that well. The actual roam portion of Votum's game has been brilliant. They've got picks, they've pulled back. It's actually, whenever the roam has been successful and they've got back to site, the only ones that they've lost is because NightWolves have been better with the site take, with the actual execution at the end, or that off one where they actually did the rush with the blitz. That's the only rounds that they've actually realistically won, and of course, Shinji's popping off. So they had 1 round where they won, where they had the better execute at the end. They had 1 round where they won with the execute once directly to site, which is what I said they probably should have done earlier. And then you had Shinji popping off as well. That's realistically, I think they could be a little bit worried if they have to go into attack again, just because they were all over the place. They didn't really have a track of Votum. They didn't really know where they were. And I think that could be to their detriment going on another map. But of course, switching sides, 3 apiece, not too bad for both sides. So pretty even split. And I'm hoping we're going to see a good end to this map at least.
Yeah, I'm surely hoping as well. Of course, it's already a 3-3 score, even score, so it's promising to be a very close match between these 2 teams. Actually, we were kind of expecting from the beginning, before the match even started. So things are looking very good so far. The rolls might mean different things, of course, because currently in the first half, both teams did as well. So it's hard to say which team is better up to this moment. You would expect maybe Votum to get at least 1 more round as they picked the attack, as that was their preferred side. But either way, they got 3 rounds. It's perfectly to work with. They can perfectly do so. And they still have a good opportunity to make things work. A very close call with the smash, still finding the Romai, however, doing a lot of damage, but getting damaged himself as well. This could have gone either way. 2 people could have lost their side, life on the defensive side, and smash could also easily have been taken out, with both of them get scared quite a lot, but get away with their lives here.
Yeah, just a little bit of a cheeky one, cheeky view repel, just to try and do a little bit of early damage here. Price, though, I don't think he's aware there's someone on that staircase. Shinji's the one that's holding on to it, and he's down to 20 odd HP, but we've seen this guy perform a few times. Sees the hand come out there to pop the nade out, but is there enough? Well, my Magnus to protect them. There's going to be another nade coming across in just a second, but he's able to evacuate the dance floor, gets himself out of that situation before the nade does find its mark, and that's them got control of red stairs, and now they have to do the drone work to just make sure that they do definitely have it. The rotate will come out from Shinji. He'll go up to the main stairs as well to try and support the rest of his teammates, but they're still not aware of this. This is where the drones need to come through. You need to bring the information through and make sure that you confirm that you have that control, because they're just holding this angle. They're wasting their time on this shield, and Smash is able to find Phantom though, but a hop out comes. It's from Blacklist, and the Oppenheimer has a Claymore waiting for it to happen. The Oryx is taken off the board, and we're in a 3 versus 5 scenario, Max.
It's a 3 versus 5 situation with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. A beautiful Claymore there from the back to deal with the Oryx. Of course, I was very worried about him being in the roam. Jekyll did not manage to find him, unfortunately, but luckily for them, the Claymore still his way, and beautiful headshot there on Pyrus. A beautiful one from Bankers here. It was a 3 versus 4 situation, but Oppenheimer just got a kill on Shanks. 2 versus 4 it now is. Defenders are using control they have, but Bankers working things around, bringing things to a 2 versus 3 situation, which is perfectly workable. Just using his last smoke canister, but unfortunately Shinji getting injured. Not out, but injured. It's all coming down to Bangus because of this situation. He's the only one left standing, does find Snowball, gets his third kill for this round, is left in a 1 versus 2 situation technically, and this could get very stressful for him, however, especially as Flipper gets a final kill. He gets taken out, of course, and this is a round that going to Votum, the attacking team, putting the score on 3-4.
Yeah, it was a good attack from them. It was a little bit shaky at times. You know, they stalled out on that staircase there. Shinji played it really well, was able to escape, but when he did his rotate, came into study, just showed too much of his body. You know, he was on 5 HP and he swung it a little bit too wide, showed too much, and probably could have played it a little bit safer just to make sure that they did get them in a better situation. Didn't quite work out though, but that'll be food for thought for NightWolves, because they'll have still, you know, they've seen how hard it was for them to clear that shield. You know, we didn't have it cleared until a minute and 20 seconds. So it took them quite some time to get that. And even after they'd actually flushed out the player, they still wasted time to try and get rid of the shield, because, you know, shield's a shield. You want to make sure that, you know, you get rid of it. You want to make sure you get rid of the utility, even if there's not a player on it. You don't want people to use it at any point. So I can still understand why they're doing it, but at that point, they sent in quite a bit of utility and it didn't find anything, so they should really have sent in some drones to make sure they cleared it out. But they didn't. Just decided to face check everything. Luckily, they win everything. So for NightWolves, though, I'd be thinking, you know what, they did quite a bit of face check in there. We might have a chance.
Yeah, it was a very smart play from Wamai down the stairs, and even then, after all the ADS, after Wamai discs were burned, there was still one ADS on the red stairs, which in the end did catch the nade. As Wamai was rotating away. Maybe if the ADS wasn't here, he would have get damaged a little bit, but still it wouldn't have been any kill. So indeed, they did waste a lot of time on that area. So again, up to the attacking team, of course, Votum to go for another attack. Cross traps do get spotted out. Again, of course, it's a Yana hologram, so she cannot be impacted by those. But at least it's a bit of valuable information to know that there can be found there. So no one hopefully actually steps in them.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, you know, the thing also with frost mats is they get more potent higher up you go in the ranks. You know, it's quite funny. It's obviously the, you know, completely opposite curve. You know, they're really effective low ranks. Don't really do much in the middle ranks. As soon as you get to the higher ranks, everybody's falling into them. They'll prize with the first kill on the round, finds Blacklist on the swing across from the window, and not probably the wisest gunfight to try and take though. Shanks with a double kill out of nowhere. He finds himself a kill with a gun first and then gets that C4 as well, but Snowball's down and not a great situation. Eventually gets finished off. It's Shanks with another one, and he's looking to try and get an ace from this doorway. Just quick peeking just to show that he is in that area still, trying to get the gunfight. Prizes on the window, still waiting for an opportunity for anyone to swing. Jaeger is identified though. We do have the Jackal, of course. Villa is a big map, so there's quite a bit of intel to be fed back, and they have to try and track down the Jaeger, but they have the information that he's inside a bathroom. The angle's been held from Price still. The swing will come from the Mozzie. He's just desperate to get his ace. You can see him swinging through absolutely everything. Shanks can taste it. So on the tip of his tongue, about a minute and 20 seconds is left, and I don't think the attackers are going to go anywhere just yet.
Yeah, the clock is just ticking on and on, and Smash just being so slow on the approach, trying to find anyone, but then he's the one who gets found, and after that also Bangus getting his final kill on the remaining player. I believe, yeah, that's it was a Jaeger with the final kill, so no quad kill there for the Mozzie, but still beautiful round for the Mozzie it was. And one thing I want to point out, you did see Yana spot out the frost trap. I believe the ace actually did get injured by that specific frost trap that we already spotted very early on in the round. So there might have been some miscommunication there on the attacking side of Votum. Very unfortunate way to go, but of course that's a mistake made. One thing to learn from as well, and hopefully they can work their way things improve on the gameplay that they can review here based on this stream.
Yeah.
So we're now back in a 4 versus 4 score. This is a very close match, exactly like we have already pointed out so many times. Something we were literally hoping for. And so far our wishes are coming true. We're now heading into round 9. The question is which team will take this round and will then only be 1 point away from the match point.
Yeah, the next 2 rounds are the crucial rounds because they're the difference makers. Because if someone gets 2 rounds in a row, they go into match point, and that's where the pressure really starts to mount, because then you can't make a mistake. So these are the pivotal points inside this map. And I want to just very quickly make a little... I'm going to theorize just very quickly back on that round that you just mentioned there. I think what happened with the Ayana and the Ace is I think the Ace seen the Ayana hopped in and thought it was the real Ayana. and thought that he shot the frost mat, so then followed in after, and I think that's what's probably happened.
That could very much be, but then still, there's like a very crucial part of communication from the Yana towards the team. Like either Yana did not call it out, or it was called out, and the Ace just didn't receive it. Everything is possible up to this point. Of course, these matches can be very stressful. And we're actually seeing indeed a very quick approach from the players here. Yana rushing in, followed by various other players. Also, the Nomad setting up various flanks as well with her Nomad's utility. But this way, they're actually making a very quick approach, which can be very useful. They now have taken control over most of the southern side, or like the first bit of the southern side of the map.
Shinji.
But I need to be careful, Shinji, indeed.
Oh no. Yeah, he's playing on 90. I don't think they've drawn this at all. I don't think they have the information though, but he just needs to be careful. Now the information has been fed back. He's been found on the drone, so he's going to have to try and escape the clutches of the attackers. Eventually he does get back to trophy without even taking any damage. Doesn't really do much. He just wastes a little bit of time there. The Oryx is also identified, so they know where he is playing around just now. Oppenheimer, I like to see this. I like seeing the Gemini clone being used. A lot of people just have a crutch kind of feeling on the Iana. They just bring it for the nades, the good guns, but it's nice to see the utility actually getting used. Prize though is going to find the first kill on the round, and it is Shinji nonetheless. That is the heaviest hitter. Obviously, the NightWolve's taken off the board, and that 1.5 is gone as well in the cap can. But remember, Max, it's kitchen defense. It is on the top floor.
Indeed, the attackers now got full control over the top floor, which is one of their objectives in order to get full control over the top floor and put some pressure on the bomb site. One thing they need to be very careful is Blacklist, who's currently playing here on the red stairs. Nomad utility has been placed here. I can hear the air jet. It's just right in front of him, but he does find it. The question is, did the attacking team hear the shot? They might not have. It was just one single shot. And then the Yana is suspicious, does peek for the red stairs, but doesn't get the kill, and the Oryx gets away with his life. Also, Shanks being extremely low in HP, so the attackers being in a good position, but at the same time they need to be quite careful because there's only 50 seconds remaining on the clock, and with this little time they need to make quite a bit of progress in order to win this round.
Yeah, HB not looking too good for NightWolves though, so Votum are definitely going to be fancying himself here when pushing in towards Laundry's side. And of course the Ace is going to be taking entry on that. The Proxylam doesn't give away their position though, but Prize is going to find Shanks with the swing. Knew that would come as soon as the Proxylam was there, but there's another player there. Phantom gets the double, but is killed off by Prize, who's on the hat. And look at this, it's Flipper to find one. Banquez with a rotate in, he's able to get one inside a Memo, and he comes in from behind to try and get this back inside for NightWolves, but the down has came through onto Flipper. Surely they have that information, surely they know that Flipper's down on the other side, but Banquez is looking to go all the way through. He knows that the revive was coming through, and they've given up the position inside the site, the control to go and back and get that player. They've given up control of the site, and Banquez with a double with a triple. Banquez goes massive for the flank in from behind and gets the kills inside a pantry, takes the round out from underneath Votum and clutches it out for NightWolves.
Beautiful, beautiful clutch on the Jaeger right there. Such a smart repositioning himself from the Memorial area towards the China kitchen area. Something that might not be expected. In the end, he did get drawn, but he was just in such a strong position. Also with this Jekyll being so low in HP. And that was a beautiful, beautiful gunfight towards the end of the rounds. And therefore, a well-deserved round win for NightWolves. Of course, now the score being 5-4. NightWolves retaking the lead, which they have had for various rounds. And yeah, if they will win another round, like you already pointed out before, it will be match point for them. Of course, now the task is for the members of Votum to deny that, to bring it back to a 5-5 score, which will be even more interesting. But let's see how things will be going from here. If we actually look at the scoreboard, by the way, I would say every player is really doing their part here. There's no one really standing out too much, like in terms of not getting enough kills, not like a very bad KD. Just Shinji really popping out with his 11 on 5, which is really beautiful. But in the end, everyone is just really, really doing their work. Of course, Siege is not a game where it's all about kills, but at least having the kills spread out as evenly as we see here is a good thing about both of these teams.
The thing, I am a little bit concerned though, Max, just a little bit, because I think overall Votum have played together and they've shown us good teamwork.
Yep.
The thing with NightWolves though is the rounds that they've collected, a lot of the time there's been quite a few clutches, quite a few double kills. You had Shanks, big 3k in one round, you had Shinji, big 4k in another round. We've just seen Banquez with a massive 3k as well there. So, that's 3 rounds just off the bat, that's just clutches alone. And that concerns me a little bit. I know they have the lead, but I'm hoping that they use this to fuel the cohesion in the team. But look at Flick to come out from Flipper, who just goes on the hunt for Banquez just to try and hunt him down inside of maps there. Banquez had absolutely no chance of winning that gunfight. The Jackal was just completely activated on Hunter Killer mode, was ready to get that gunfight and get the kill on the round, and that's exactly what happened. So Votum are in the driver's seat so far. They have control all the way up towards 90 at least now, but Shinji lying in wait. He wants an opportunity to get a couple more kills on the board, and he will swing out towards 90, but there will be no one to take that gunfight as of yet. But just as I say that, of course, Max, he collects a later prize.
Indeed, he does. It's now a 4 versus 4 situation where also Blacklist is trying to attempt a flank, or not really a flank, but he's trying to come from a lesser expected position, which is the red stairs. And yet he does get drone, but does get both of the 2 drones. So at least that's a bit of utility and intel denied from the attacking team, which is also a good thing. And we're still 1 minute and 35 seconds on the clock. The attackers still do have a decent amount of time to get further control. They have got good control over most of the southern side of the map. Just need to get a little bit more control towards the waiting area to get a full control, and landing area, excuse me, and from there they can get full control onto the bomb site itself eventually. Put some more pressure, get that ace going, but in the end, as Shinji does get the kill and smash, the chances will get a bit slimmer.
Yeah, just hold an angle inside a trophy there is able to kill another player. And this is the thing where teams get a little bit stuck at this part of the map because it's a bit of a tunnel area. It's choke points. There's 2 doorways that you need to enter from in terms of the landing side. And people just struggle to get in there. Shinji has picked off though in that engagement. Oppenheimer though finds another one onto Phantom. And NightWolves, they had the man advantage and they've let it slip away a little bit. So it's now very slipped away. Of course, there is Oppenheimer's able to get another one, this time onto Shanks. And it's a 1 versus 3 with Blacklist and a 1.5 and a T5. He's got to catch the ace, not paying attention inside of Master. That is Snowball dealt with, but is the diffuser down? Diffuser is... I'm not going crazy here. The diffuser's down to Master, yeah?
Yes, I was also very confused why Oryx was trying to go for the gunfight there, indeed. Like... He was in such a strong position. Like he could have even hidden towards the master wall. Yeah. He could have gone towards bathroom. He could have gone towards anywhere in master or even the walk-in closet. Which would have been a very strong position. He just needed to hold an angle on the diffuser and try to get the kills as people are trying to retrieve it. But in the end, he decided to go for the peak where the flipper, the Jackal with the scope was even waiting from a very far distance in a very safe position and just get the kill. That's a very interesting choice there of the Oryx.
It's just unfortunate, isn't it? It's the way. It's just the way. It's the heat of the moment, you know. Wins the gunfight, feeling it. You know, everybody else has had a chance. Everybody's had a good clutch. You know, we've seen Shinji, we've seen Banquez, we've seen Shanks, we've seen everybody hit these moments. Blacklist is feeling it. You know, he gets the kill. You know, I'm going to swing it. I'm going to see if I can get this kill. And unfortunately, just doesn't go their way. Now, you know, you can pick apart the rest of the round in terms of where they dropped man count. The 1v1s were isolated. It was just a better team play from Votum. They played together. They got the 1v1s, the 1v2s, whatnot, and they were able to isolate those members of NightWolves and get it all the way down to that 1 versus 3. But, you know, which you're not expected to win. Of course, you're never expected to win a clutch. They're always just a bonus if you win them. But you've got to, you know, we do need to focus on the misplay with the diffuser. You have a diffuser down a master. Just play on it. You know, be safe. You know, chill out. You know, invite the gunfights. But Peaker's advantage is one of those ones you're just tempted. You know the player's going to try and push, but patience was there from the Jackal. Heard the angle and just waited for the kill, and he got it. And, you know, 5 each now, Max.
Yeah, that would have been a very smart approach, and now we have ended up in a 5-5 score, which is also always a very interesting one. Of course, the upcoming 2 rounds are going to be very decisive for what this map is going to do. Either a team wins by winning 2 in a row right now, or each team wins 1, and we're going to overtime. So these upcoming 2 rounds will decide everything for this map. So I'm very curious to see how this will go. Of course, it's still Votum here on the attack. So far, they have 1-2, lost 2. So it's really going pretty even between these 2 teams on either side. So it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen from here. But we'll see. Jackal meanwhile in the building, just looking for those first footprints. But I don't believe there's anyone left on this side of the map, really. At least not on this floor. Shinji is still playing downstairs. Does have a supporter pocket, which he could use very well from below. But besides that, attackers do have a pretty good control here. Also, Black is playing right below. Does also have the option to pop open that hatch and just jump upstairs, avoiding the claymore that the Jackal just placed. But he needs to be very careful though, because the Jackal did just open up the hatch. Wilson footprints, but that doesn't even matter. Blacklist is just waiting. Just come peek at me. I got a very nice scope, and your head is right into my crosshair, and I'll take you out. Which is a very beautiful situation there, where the Jackal is now off the board, which is a huge win for the defensive team.
Yeah, it's just the way it works out. This is the thing with Jackal. No, I think Jackal's obviously a really strong operator. Gets banned quite a lot for good reason. Can be a plague to try and deal with. Look at the flanker from Gingy, but he just knows Snowball was waiting for it. And look at this is the aggression here. You know, you get that one kill and you got to go for the swing right away. But Oppenheimer was ready for it there. Gets the swing, or sorry, Shanks is ready for it. Gets the swing onto Snowball. Gets that kill. Oppenheimer kill on the other side. 3 versus 2 now, though. Getting aggressive onto the door. Prize knows that someone's going to try and go for a swing at some point, but Shanks is going to just play this waiting game. But in the corner, he is spotted. Prize knew exactly where Shanks was, and now we're in a 2 versus 2 scenario. 40 seconds left on the clock, and up the main stairs, the Oryx does go to try and reinforce the site to make sure that they have a little bit of a foothold, because Prize is lurking on the fringe of that doorway to push down and into the site. Oppenheimer now knows there's a player at the top of the main stairs, or at least thought there was, because it goes straight into sight. Not even entertaining the idea of anyone at the top of the main staircase. And Blacklist as well just knows that there's someone coming in that doorway in just a few seconds max. And man, I'm thinking about going for the swing. They seem to have an idea where they all are, but no one's really spotting. It's almost like a kind of horror movie when you see the players just passing through behind you and you don't quite know where they are. Prize finds Phantom and it's a 1 versus 2 scenario, but Blacklist knows the plant's going down. Surely he has the sound cue, but doesn't know where anybody is. He's just sweeping through from the map side. No one really has an idea. Spots the player inside of Vault, and Oppenheimer closes it out, has the angle on lock with a 1.5 and a G36, and that's another round on the board for the attacking side of Votum.
That was such a patience testing round, and the 2 versus 2 getting so close to each other, but just waiting for the other one to make a mistake, to just overpeak things and just make themselves vulnerable. No one really wanted to do that. Everyone was just waiting, and in the end, a very smart way of the attackers to just push into the bomb site. And also the Yana relocating herself to the vault, which is a very strong position from where she can easily deny any counter attempts to stop the defuse from happening. So very well played from Votum right there, which in the end put them here on a 5-6 match points score, which means if they win this upcoming rounds, they will win this first map and will head into the next map, which was, I believe, Cafe Dostoevsky. Cafe Dostoevsky, but at the same time, like, so far this match has been so even between these two teams. It could easily go to NightWolve right here, and this map could go to overtime then. So yeah, just up to which team wins. If NightWolves wins, we'll head into overtime. If Votum wins, this map is over, and they will earn the first map points. So yeah, let's just see how things will go. It's still NightWolves on the defense here. They have lost 3 of these rounds, won only 2, but they can could potentially add a third one to the count to make it even as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, I would almost rather lose a map convincingly than lose it on overtime, because it's so deflating. It's going to a second map when you've just missed out on it. You're like, oh, right, okay, we need to go again, we need to regroup. But it's really the mental challenge. You know, you've got the mental challenge of being on match point right now. You know, NightWolves are going to be tested just for that, and then if they lose the map out, then they're going to have to go into, you know, lose their own map pick. They chose Villa. This is their map, so they want to be winning this. They want to make sure that they get this on the board. They don't really want to go going into cafe with a player down. I say a player down, I mean a map down, but they're almost a player down as Flipper hops in the window, doesn't realise that there's an EDD on that window, and it was a nicely placed Capcan trap, actually, may I say. They're just expecting it to be a frost trap because they know the frost's on the board. Look down, don't realise there's going to be an EDD, and that's just a free 50 HP points taken off of Flipper. Yeah,
you're just specifically checking for the frost traps. Like, you even see how the yellow ping came out. So I'm not even sure what the yellow ping was about, really. But like, you just saw the Jekyll jumping in so confidently. Okay, there's going to be frost trap. I'm going to shoot it down, and he was just ready for that for the Capcan trap. Shinji then meanwhile with a kill there on Smash, taking out the first attacking player. This is exactly what the NightWolves are looking for. Of course, they need this round to win this round to still earn this map point, to still be able to win this map in the overtime. So they're starting out well, but taking out the Twitch. Not the most valuable kill, but still, it's a very good gun off the boards, which is of course a huge win here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange choice for me for Twitch to come through, because obviously Twitch has been nerfed into oblivion to basically almost force the Brava pick. So, you know, it's not a contentious point. Brava is a better operator at the minute. You know, 1.5 para, hits hard, extended barrel, hits extremely hard, and a pretty good, you know, gadget, especially when you're playing up against Capcan Trap. So I would have liked to have seen the Brava pick come through instead of the Twitch, but nonetheless, they're off the board anyway. 5 versus 4 still, minute here left on the clock, and that early kills really affected Votum's push here, because they just seem to be stalling out. They don't really seem to be pushing up, and they're trying to think of things to get out of this. And Blacklist on the flank from Red Stairs, he's done it a couple of times and not been successful, so we'll see if it pays off this time though.
Yeah, they're surely waited very patiently right here, especially the Oryx there on the red stairs. Jaeger also in a very strong position for where he can easily deny the study door. Anyone trying to hop in from there, he will be able to deny it. However, he needs to be very careful with the HP. Same goes for Price as he gets injured, and Snowball also being very low on HP. It's now a 4 versus 3 situation. Still NightWolve's in the advantage, which is what they're hoping for from here. But Shinji also hooks another Capcan Trap. Capcan Trap's being very valuable this round. This round goes to 4 versus 2, and then Phantom in a Frost Trap even on the main stairs. Yeah, a beautiful defensive run from NightWolve here, exactly what they needed. And this map is now a 6-6 score, meaning we will head into the overtime, where this map now gets extended by a maximum of 3 rounds, and it's just up to either one of the teams to win 2 out of those rounds to still win this map. So basically we're back to a 0-0, and that was just a map of a match with only 3 rounds. So yeah, like you were saying earlier, you prefer to lose a map like a match with a very convincing score, like a 2-7 or so.
7-4, 7-3.
Yeah, like even the game will call it like a heartbreaking defeat if you if you defeat like this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, both of the teams are giving them absolute maximum right here to still win. Because of course, like you already pointed out, we are in the lower bracket. This is like your last resort. This is the only way to still work your way towards the finals. Like if you're one of those upper bracket teams, where of course NightWolves was located last week, you're like in a very cool position. Like, okay, if we lose this match, so what? We still have a chance in the lower bracket. Understandably, you don't want to go to the lower bracket, but you still have an opportunity. And from here, it's just like your last resort, your last option, and it's just all or nothing. You just need to win or you're out. And yeah, unfortunately, we already did see that happen with Kodak, unfortunately forfeiting in the lower brackets as the team apparently fell apart or something. So that's already one playoff team eliminated so far. But either way, I don't think any of these teams would like to join them on the eliminated teams. Yeah,
totally agree with you. I think though as well, the thing about this is, you know, I fancied NightWolves anyway, just because of their form in terms of the group stages. Of course, obviously knowing that they were a player down in the playoffs when they played that upper bracket game, that, you know, still reinforces my point. I think NightWolves will still take this overall. I still fancy that, but I also kind of want them to take it. No harm on Votum. The storyline of NightWolves getting knocked out of the upper bracket because they don't have the player available. They get knocked out of the upper bracket, they drop down, they do the lower bracket run, get to the grand final, and then, you know, they beat Tracker. That's what you want. That's the kind of things we're here for. That's the excitement that we want to try and build up, you know. But there is excitement within the game at least, and we're a minute already into this round on the overtime match point, of course. Not overtime match point, sorry, overtime first point at least. It's just a bit of a stalemate, Max. Nothing really happening.
It's certainly a much slower pace round compared to the previous ones we've seen. I think Votum is really feeling the pressure here, because of course at one point they were ahead of their opponents. They were doing fairly well. Actually, no, it was even NightWolves ahead of them. But either way, like, they still felt the pressure because it's only 3 rounds remaining. As the 2 members of Votum already lose their lives, Oppenheimer and Smash, and then even followed by Flipper, things are just completely falling apart for them. They did manage to get 1 kill there on Blacklist, but still it's a 4 versus 2 situation. Double the amount of defenders alive versus attackers. So you need to be very careful. Snowball there, unfortunately, just barely missing the Mozzie. He was not even dropping down as he has wasted enough of the time. This round is looking very it's not looking very good for the attacking team so far. Of course, they can each get 1 kill to make it even, but they need to be very smart about it.
Yeah, I mean, just punish for that patience there. That's what's happened. They've slowed right down. They weren't, I think they were expecting to be into Cafe by now. I think Votum, they probably felt that last round was going to be theirs, but look at this. Banquez comes up from behind, finds Snowball, not paying attention to the fact that the flank is there, and NightWolves look very convincing here. And this is, you know, what I just mentioned, that you're just a little bit patient, and you want to be careful. You're now in the point where you can't lose. You know, at this point, if you lose a round, then you're not good. And especially if you're on the attack, you don't really want this to come back. You don't want Votum in this situation would have to win a round on their attack. They have to win a round, and it's not ideal for them because they've not been the strongest on their attack. Their defense is certainly a lot better, so they're not in the greatest situation. Shank's going to close it out and takes us to match point for NightWolves, the first of theirs for this evening. And I'm convinced, Max. I think the NightWolves are going to take this.
Yeah, that's what we both were expecting when we were heading into this game. We were really expecting NightWolves to just be just a little bit of the stronger team. Of course, we can be proven wrong here. There's still 2 rounds potentially to be played, at least one. It just really depends which one is going to win. If Votum wins this round, like we've been doing, like we've been going on and off so many times, so it's very much possible, then it will be a 7-7 score. And also mind that we're having a roll swap every single round right now, so it's not really, you cannot really get the vibe going really. I actually need to swap every single round. So there's a good chance that Votum will win this round, and that will be 7-7, and then there's just the one last decider round coming. Because we don't, of course, have unlimited overtime. That's something we won't have until the actual grand final on the 14th of May.
We're going to have to bring some soothers for that, I think.
Oh, yes. Yes. So far, like the past 2 seasons of ESA, so Season 3 and Season 4, both grand final matches went to all 5 maps, and I believe on both of them also a limited overtime happening for at least one of those maps. So that's looking very, very promising. Various teams that we have seen in those finals are participating as well. Of course, Entropy is being one of those teams. Who was the winner of last season? And MVG Germany, I'm saying correctly? Was it Germany or was it UK? UK being the runner-up. So there's some very promising teams here, and there's a pretty good chance that we will see that happen once more towards the on the 14th of May, like I'm saying, when the grand final will happen. It's just a question of which teams will be in the final.
It certainly is, but there is no question as to what's happening inside. This map is an absolute banger, to say the least. Villa has been a fun map to watch. There's been a lot of kills, and Shinji's obviously the standout, of course, right now, 16-7, just casually dropping, 16 kills, it's fine, no problem, guys, it's all good, I got you, no problem. Flipper here, trying to get aggressive onto the window, doesn't know the players on the upside and repel, so he could just move around here. Shinji's the one that is on the other side of that, just waiting for an opportunity, so he's not, actually that's the wrong call, he's on the other side, he's inside of Astro, going for the swing in though. There is some drones in there, so has information, at least knows where the players could be, and knows that there's no one inside Astro for the time being. Flipper's rotated back around his blacklist that was on that window, and now the rest of the NightWolves reinforcements join the party inside of Trophy and Astro to try and get the sweep in from the northwest side to make sure that they can begin taking this map control and get themselves set up for this execute.
You can really see that the attacking team is clearly looking for those Echo Drones, and actually Echo Drone being placed in the statue area is a very smart placement of the drone. So much information can be gathered, and just remember, the drone used to be invisible for a pretty long time, and it isn't even invisible anymore, and yet they haven't managed to spot it. So a huge play from the Echo here. The question is whether it will be of any effects, as the attackers are already mostly pressing on, just getting further control over the map, so soon the Echo Drone might just be behind them. Does still provide some flanking options, but still, there's no one really there at the moment to capitalize on the information gathered by that drone. Just a Jaeger playing downstairs at the moment.
It's a funny one, that drone. I actually think it may be there for the flank watch, to be honest. Blacklist is going to open up the scoreboard inside this round here, finds Flipper, and that's the 1.5 of the Capcan down. It looks as though NightWolves are in a good position to get this execute started. Oppenheimer's down below inside the living room, but knows there's one floating around. Blacklist is waiting for it. Shanks is going to find Snowball, but Oppenheimer's not aware of the players inside the vault. But as they are going to pounce as of yet, but a shot comes from Prize, able to get it. Blacklist does eventually get that kill onto Oppenheimer, but Prize is in a 1 versus 3, gets himself 1 kill. It's a triple kill. It could be an ace clutch. If he's able to bring this through, this could be absolutely massive for Votum. He goes through the rotate, round towards 90. He's just going to wait though. The swing will come, waiting for that sound cue. Knows the player's going to come round towards 90, but is instead going to pounce first. Spots the player, but can't quite land the shots. Still 2 versus 1. Blacklist is now going to try and go for the pinch. They know they're on 90, but are they aware of the swing? Quad go for Prize, but not the ace. He's putting in the dart, and the map is NightWolve. So close.
That was indeed an extremely close call. Very nice attempt on the Echo, getting the quad skill, almost getting that final player, but unfortunately he did not manage to. A great attempt, but unfortunately not happening there. 8-6 score, a beautiful match with a beautiful scoreboard here. 70 kills for Shinji. But that's it for this first map of today. Of course, we just saw Villa an 8-6 score. NightWolves being the team that's victorious. What a beautiful match for today.
What a map. That was a good map.
What a beautiful map.
That was a great map. I think obviously NightWolves will be happy with that. They came into the form in the second half. First half was a bit shaky. Votum showed us a very good defense, by the way, which for going into Cafe, I would be worried about for that, because Cafe is just like Villa, except the only difference is it's not linear. It's more of a vertical one. So you've got the up and down roam to worry about instead of that roam coming across from the other side. But it's been a good map so far, and I've been enjoyed what we've seen. And I do wish you got the clutch. I do wish you got the ace. That would have been a storyline to tell. It would. It's absolutely beautiful. But just the way the cookie crumbled and NightWolves take the map.
It was indeed a very close call there in the end, and it would have been a spectacular one. The one for the clips, one for the social media highlights, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Still a beautiful quad kill indeed. But that's it for this first map. An 8-6 score, NightWolves being victorious. Next is Cafe Dostoevsky, the map picked by Votum, but of course the side pick is there coming from NightWolve, which I believe they will be playing as the attacking team. It will be NightWolves, actually no, NightWolves are the defending team, they pick defense. So it's going to be an interesting map there. But first we're going to have like a break of about maybe like 5 minutes or so, and I will be back with the second map for today. So just hang tight, grab a drink, go to the toilet or something, and we'll see you guys very soon. So bye-bye. So, hello, welcome back, everyone. We're back here with the second map of today, which is going to be Cafe Dostoyevsky. Of course, it's still me, Bozamax, and Chamberlain at your service. And after this first beautiful map on Villa, an 8-6 score for NightWolves, we're now preparing for the second map of today, which is going to be Cafe. We're having some players, unfortunately, leave the lobby for whatever reason. So I'm quickly looking on my left side where I have a second screen to see what is going on. I assume they will rejoin any second again. Oh, there's apparently a game crash, so they will be joining again, but it gives us a bit of extra time to just talk about what we can expect of the second map, because of course it was an extremely close first map, so it's hard to tell which team is really the better one. Of course, in the end, NightWolve did win the map, so technically they are a bit better, but it doesn't mean too much for Cafe yet. We can't really expect anything of this moment. It's very much possible that Votum will be able to win this map. It might just be as close or maybe a bit more one-sided, but from here anything can still happen. We potentially will even see the third map at the end of the evening, but for now, of course, it's NightWolves being in a very good position with a 1-0 score.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of shaky at times from NightWolves. They didn't go off to the greatest start. Votum showed us a really good defense when it came to their roams and whatnot. Their extensions were really good, but NightWolves really came into their own. They really started winning the gunfights, relying on those big players to get the shots, and so to me, it can still go either way. I don't think that NightWolves will be confident. I don't think they'll be thinking, oh yes, yeah, we've definitely got this, we're definitely gonna win this. I don't think they'll be thinking that. Votum have taken us to Cafe for a reason, I would imagine. They've probably got some strats prepared. Obviously, they're starting on the attack, which can be a little bit tricky, and it's a bit iffy on Cafe. The thing is Cafe's technically supposed to be an attacker-sided map. It's one of those ones where it doesn't always come to fruition, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how things stand for ESA, like specifically in terms of the sites. If I'm looking at Wikipedia, the map was played a total of 82 times. A total of 82 rounds were played on this map, where 40 of them, so 48% went to the attack, and actually 42, so the slight majority, 51% went to the defense. So within ESA, slightly bit more defender favorites. But in the end, it's a very close map, so things can really go either way. Today is NightWolves on the defense and Votum on the attack, so yeah, we have to see how things will go. But for now, it's going to be a very close one. What are your expectations for the second map?
I think the NightWolves will take this. I think they'll take a 7-5.
A 7-5.
I think they'll sneak it out. I think they'll sneak it out from Votum. I think. I think that the firepower was just there for NightWolves at the end. They really warmed up. A shaky start, I think Votum got a lot more rounds and than what they would maybe have got if NightWolves had been a bit more warmed up. But then again, can always fall off. It doesn't, Cafe is a completely different map. Completely different. Of course, it's vertical as opposed to, being like completely horizontal, stretched out linear map that what Villa is. Of course, Villa really only has the 2 floors. Of course, you have the basement, but it's only really used for rotates. But so it's quite a bit different in terms of the style of play. You've got a lot more outside to inside play in terms of the windows and repels and whatnot. So it's quite different. Quite contrast.
Yeah, I always like to point out how Villa is like the only map where there's an entire floor that's not being utilized in the bomb mode. Yeah, of course it's being utilized, I believe, in both secure area and hostage. Hostage, I'm not 100% sure, but certainly for secure area. But oh boy, when have I last played secure area? I don't even remember. That's just ages ago. I just remember the times when even still secure area was a thing in ranked. That's so long ago. But of course, bomb is just the major game mode of Siege. The other ones have just become kind of extras, but that's fine. But it's just very interesting how the map just doesn't utilize the whole basement for the bomb modes.
It's just for the rotates, really, is it? Someone will sneak up there occasionally, and that's why people get caught out by it, actually, because people don't expect people to use it. They just forget that it's even a thing. And then someone will suddenly, oh, wait a minute, there's actually something coming behind me. And just on cue, we're actually going into the cafe. We're getting ready to go. We're going to the beautiful Russian Cafe Dostoyevsky to see what treats we have, of course, on the more vertical map. And what are you thinking, Max? Actually, I didn't get an answer at you. Who do you think is going to go for this one?
Well, like I always like to say, I would love to see all 3 maps. So somewhat I'm hoping Votum to win. But like I've been saying before, my prediction is NightWolves to win this match. So whether that's NightWolves winning, like losing this one and winning in the second, like the final map, I'm not quite sure yet. But I do think that certainly the momentum and the morale that NightWolves now have in their favor is certainly going to help them even more. And just me thinking that they're just a bit of a stronger team, I do as well think they will win this map as well, just like you're saying. It will again be a very close map, so you were saying a 7-5. It might just become overtime once more, I'm not sure, but I do think it will kind of go on and off really for this map as well. So we'll have to see. In terms of operator bans, we're seeing some similarities, or at least the Ying is coming out again. This time there's a Jekyll and Mirror ban, two operators we did see quite a bit in the previous map, especially the Jekyll. And also the Azami, which was banned in the previous map as well. So nothing too surprising here. Again, Jekyll also very useful on a big map like this one. Last map he was in play, this time he won. So the Romans will have a bit more of roaming space here, which is certainly going to be beneficial for the NightWolve players.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the Azami go. Cafe is probably one of her strongest maps because of that top floor. Cigar Lounge is a nightmare to deal with when there's like Azami. They're just all over the place. Hell to try and deal with. Mira is a staple ban, of course, for Cafe. I don't think there's really anything analytical to add on to that, to be honest. You know, top floor hold, cocktail, pop on the wall. If you're on call, you've got the full control of Cigar Lounge once you open it up, and Freezer, so standard ban. And, you know, you mentioned it yourself, the Jackal, there's not going to be anyone, you know, be able to track anyone. It's played pretty much every round. You know, Villa, I was quite surprised they got through the ban phase on Villa, especially with Villa being one of those bigger maps, but we didn't really see it be used to great effect, so I don't know how much that'll make a difference on this map.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember which operator on the attacking side did we see on the previous map.
10 seconds to insertion.
From the ban?
Yes, we did see Yang.
It was a Yang.
But what was the other one?
Oh, I'm not.
What was banned instead of Jekyll?
I'm not actually 100%.
What's the Thatcher? No, I don't think. No, I don't think it would have been Thatcher, right? What would it be?
Don't think so. No, I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I usually to take a note of it, but I had not have time.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. Also, one of the things you were talking about in the last map that we haven't really seen Brava yet. She hasn't been banned a single time, so that's not the reason that we haven't seen her yet. I just think that the teams really need to get a bit more comfortable with her. Like, she can be a very strong operator, so I'm actually looking forward to see her a bit more. But so far we haven't really seen her getting her full potential yet. I do think she has a lot of potential, but so far we don't really see her too much yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think she has a place in the. I think she has a place, 100%. I think her gadget is useful. Whoa, Blacklist, he's starting as he finished on that previous map, gets a kill onto Price, just pops up under the hatch and says, you know what, we're gonna get started pretty quick here, mate. Then I'm just gonna take her head clean off. But Oppenheimer bites right back and finds Banquez with the nade, and great use of utility. And a minute in, we are already 2 members down. We're in a 4 versus 4 scenario, Max.
It's indeed a very cool way to start the match, especially how Price was taken out on the rooftop, not even allowed to enter the map. And also Shanks getting killed on Flipper. That's another attacker taken out. This time it's the Nomad. Sorry, earlier was the Ash. Now it's a Nomad losing her life, I believe. NSN Smash also gets taken out by Shanks. Double kill for him. It's all coming down to Snowball and Oppenheimer in this 4v2 situation. Snowball there getting spotted out by the Mozzie. He's in tough spots. Mozzie can easily relocate himself, but luckily Oppenheimer is there to cover out for his teammate. Takes out Mozzie, who's very hungry for the ace kill, and that's luckily for them not happening. A 3 versus 2 situation right here with 1 minute and 15 seconds and quite a bit of utility left, which they can use in their advantage to hopefully get a bit more control over the map on both sides and do some more damage.
They've just opened up with that wall there, but we'll be down to just with not been enough respect to the fact that someone could be still lurking inside of Cigar Shop. It is Blacklist to get that kill onto Snowball, but the wall is open, so there is an angle that can be utilised. But the thing is with one person to challenge it, it's not ideal because there's quite a lot of cross angles that can be held. You can see the outlines there. The head is spotted, but Blacklist is quicker on the trigger and sends his bullet straight into the head of Oppenheimer and finds that round on the opener for NightWolves. Now, very quickly, Max, just while I was in the background, I was we were talking there. I did a little bit of digging. On some bands. Now I didn't find the bands from last map, but I do have just a little tidbit for you, just so you think. So, as we know, Knock is the most banned operator in ESA.
Yes.
You know that.
Oh,
41. 41%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your ban. I was trying to find out if this was one of the first ones where we haven't seen a Knock ban times, but Knock has been banned pretty much every single map.
But
it's crazy.
We didn't see a previous map either, right?
I don't think so.
No,
that's what I don't think.
Knock was played. Yeah, Knock was even played last.
Knock was
map.
played, yeah. So this is the little tidbit that I want to
Oh.
give you. This is the first one in the playoffs where Knock hasn't been banned.
Yeah, wow. I thought you were gonna say like you finally figured out who was banned,
no.
which attacker was banned.
No, in my research to try and find that piece of information, I was not able to find it, but I was able to find that at least. You know, there's at least something for you, chat. That you know, there's been 41 bans to Knock, but not in this fixture.
But the same thing can be said about Solis. Solis is the most banned defender, and it's also not being banned. It's not being played, but it's also not being banned, which is also very interesting. Are all those Solis bans then a good thing? Like, was she banned for a good reason or not? Because like now she's not being banned, but she's neither being picked. And I think on both Villa and Cafe she can be pretty strong.
Yeah, I will certainly continue my search to see if I can find out more Solus bits, because Solus banned 45 times, 51.7% of the bans, and not banned in this fixture at all, and not played, which is kind of wild, because I kind of pointed that out when the bans were coming through. When we were doing the best of ones and people kept banning Solus, I was kind of thinking that I feel that people are just banning Solus because they think they have to ban Solus, kind of like Thatcher. When people ban Thatcher now, I'm kind of like, yeah, well, okay, fine, but EMPs. You know, it doesn't really, you know, you're just kind of ban a Thatcher because you used to ban a Thatcher. I'll just do it. Whereas the Solus one was like, it's just an obligation, I'll just get rid of it, but no one's playing it, doesn't really matter. Oppenheimer, though, is, in fact, playing the Ayana, and is going to find a little bit of damage on themselves just from the Mozzie, who just did a little bit of an aggressive swing towards the Cigar Lounge, and still trying to clear through the top floor of this map. Of course, it is going to be downstairs this time because there is no opportunity for going to the top floor because they just won that one on the defense. C4 goes up, but it won't find anyone because they haven't got that far along yet.
Yeah, there's a good time waste from the defensive side. It did just cost them not even a bit of HP, actually. I was about to say, because it cost them just a slight bit of HP, but it didn't cost them any HP. They did do some damage on the Yana, however. So that's 1 minute and 30 seconds expired, half of the rounds, which is a decent, pretty good time waste. And especially Shanks gets a kill there on the Nomads. That's a very good kill, like very good attacker off the board. We can no longer place her Nomad charges to deny some roams. That's a very good thing. And especially as Bank is also going to kill on Oppenheimer. Things are just going in the way of the defending team, especially as Shinji gets a kill on Flipper. The smash for the kill on Shanks is now 4, which is the situation to jump out for Shinji, get the kill. What a jump out there on Snowball. Beautiful play here. I wonder how he got the information, but in the end, a smash all alone right here. Playing on the northern side of the map, outside even, getting jumped out as well potentially. The smoke is just so hungry for this final kill, just waiting for it, just trying to tempt him, throwing smoke and assist, but in the end, this Blacklist with a runner from the main door, getting the final kill, securing another round for the defending team, which is NightWolves.
Yeah, this is kind of why I put my eggs in the basket of NightWolves after that first map. I felt that they came into their own in the second half. They were winning the ones, they were getting ones and twos and whatnot. They were winning all the gunfights, and they've just came out blaring with the gunfights, just straight out the gates. They want to take everything, they want to swing everything, they're out the windows, they want to take every inch of this map, they want to fight for every single part of it, and they're winning the gunfights, and that's given them the result. So NightWolves are not quite the most technical team, but they certainly have the gun skill. They're certainly winning those fights, and it is working out wonders so far on Cafe.
Yeah, so far things are going very well in favor of NightWolve. Of course, they are already in a very good position due to winning their first map. So just technically on match point, as you can call it. Just basically like after you win a map, you earn a map point. So they are in a good position, and they just have a lot less to worry about. And it's certainly a bit of stress off their shoulders. Yes, sure, they want to win this map just as much, just end things as quickly as possible, not needing to worry about a third map anymore. But at least a little bit of pressure that they're in a good position, that they have some kind of backup in case they don't succeed. That must just feel really good for them, and it does give them some more opportunity also to be a bit more aggressive. Double jump out that we see, or run out and jump outs, which has been very useful. And also it's Shanks here trying to go for spawn peek as well. There's just so many signs that this NightWolve is getting so much more comfortable. Even Shanks doing a bit of damage on the buck right there, almost getting a kill potentially. I mean, the shots were in a very good direction, but in the end only a bit of damage done there. On Flipper, about 25 HP, which is still useful.
And things will just calm down a little bit. You know, of course, that's usually how a round of siege works. First 30 seconds to 40 seconds, you do get that early aggression, you'll get the jump outs, you'll get the spawn peaks and whatnot, and then once that, you settle into the round. Maybe you lose a player, maybe not. What happens, it just depends. you get a little bit more kind of slow play as the attackers regroup and they just continue. You know what? We've got a push to do. We need to get this sorted. And Flipper dropping a hatch here, looking to try and get the hunt onto that Oryx who is floating around that area. And Blacklist again. It's Prize this time to fall. I think it's the same person twice.
Yeah,
he's been able to get off of that hatch. It was a Nomad the last time. I know that for a fact. So I'm assuming that it was Prize that was on it, and he's taken off the board. The same thing, and it's the most unfortunate thing because the player drops down and he just times it wrong. It's just timing. It's his timing at the end of the day. Phantom's going to find one, Banquez is going to find another. That's Oppenheimer off the board, and look at this. Max NightWolves are hungry for it. 2 rounds already, looking for the third. Snowball and Smash have it all to do, and down to about 20 HP. Snowball on the red stairs is not looking too good. A little bit worse for wear at the minute.
Yes, and especially as Shinji gets another kill down Snowball, it's all coming down to Smash, who's now in a very tough position. Even the Capcan trap getting the final kill. So busy just looking for his opponents. Want to do the double Capcan trap. It's even the IQ could have spotted it, but of course, such a tense and such a busy moment. No time to check for any of those, and a double Capcan trap being absolutely devastating, taking out IQ, flawless run for NightWolve, and a very understandable moment from Votum here to call in the tactical timeout, which they can call in once per map, because I think they can really use it after losing 3 rounds in a row right here.
Yes, absolutely. They had to bring a timeout there. That's perfect. That's perfectly played. Perfect time to bring it out. There's 3 rounds down. They just cannot deal with the aggression that NightWolves have taken. Is a nightmare. They just can't seem to win anything at all. I'm hoping this timeout really rejigs them. They are able to gather themselves and start, getting some round under the belt. And I did say I was going to have a little bit more information for you on bans. I didn't. Again, apologies. I still haven't got the ban from the last map, but it's okay. I do have some more information on Solus though.
Oh.
NightWolves are currently the only teams in the playoffs, just for playoff matches, that they have been involved in both their fixtures, are the only fixtures that haven't had a Solus ban.
Oh, whoa.
Which is strange. Because obviously, no one's banning it against them, no one's banning it. They're not banning it at all either. So that's 2 times. This is the second game obviously they've played in the playoffs, but every other playoff game has had a Solus ban on at least one of the maps, which is kind of wild.
Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, like it's so interesting how stats can sometimes also vary per team. Like some time ago we had to restructure our Wikipedia page just because the page was just having too much data. There's so much data in this league, and this is a pretty big league with 33 teams, of course, of which there's now 16 remaining. But after that, we had to basically split up the group stage in 4 different pages, basically 1 page for each group, which even gave us information per group specifically. And it was so interesting how a certain map was played like a lot by a certain group, and one of the underdog maps was played in a different group as well. Like it's so interesting how those stats can vary, and then also in terms of operator bans as well. It's just very interesting. And now, of course, all those different groups are coming together, where every group has a bit of their own environment with different kind of food. Okay.
Oh, Banquez is fine. Is this the activation that they need? Prize has finally got a kill after 3 rounds, and it is a shutdown onto Banquez with a jump out. And I'm hoping that Votum have arrived. It looks like they have a little bit. The knock comes through. Flipper gets the kill into Blacklist, and that is one of the biggest plagues that has been on this map for Cafe. Has been Blacklist, and he swings out there. Shinji though not able to get a kill. It unfortunately falls to Flipper, but Shanks at the same time gets the refrag. C4 in hand here for Shanks, puts it onto that hatch, knows the player's going to be there, and gets the double! Triple for Shanks, goes massive in the first minute of this round. And first minute, Max, first minute of this. 2 versus 2.
Indeed, now back to the 2 versus 2. I can imagine this must be super devastating for Votum to make such a good start. They were even in a 5 versus 2 situation at one point, but then the double C4 and 1 kill even from the Mozzie. Such a devastating way to lose your advantage. Of course, they haven't lost the round yet. It's a 2 versus 2. They can still win it, but the advantage was lost in like in the most terrible imaginable way. So I can imagine the Votum members are not feeling too great at this moment. They can still win it, but the momentum that they had is certainly lost, and you can even see that how much slower the match is now proceeding. They need to be more careful as well, but still. As an also fan, gets to come up on Oppenheimer. It's just falling apart for Votum. I can imagine that the tone is kind of set for Votum right now. It's just a 2 versus 1, and even if they lose this 4th round, I can imagine how they're feeling. That they're kind of feeling like it's all over, and it will be very difficult to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even the comeback itself, you know, it's only 4 rounds. It's not a big deal. You're on Cafe, you're on attack, and, you know, statistically speaking, Cafe is supposed to be an attacker side of the map, but it hasn't. Look at this. Snowball's able to get down, sets the Goyo off, and stops Phantom from the push, and look at this. He can get it. The swing comes through from Phantom. They have the information on each other. The red pings are coming through for Phantom, though, so he has a much better preference in this gunfight. Knows the player is going to have to push him. Swings it, but Snowball from nowhere is able to get the double and gets it across the line for Votum. They take their attack on Cafe.
It's finally Votum waking up. It was extremely close. I was ready to call the win for NightWolve. I was already building up to the moment where, like, building up to Votum still for NightWolve still winning this round. But he had a beautiful attempt and beautiful like play of Votum that to still work things around for them after starting with such a good start, but then getting destroyed by the double Z4 kill and one of the multi kills. But still managing to win this round, which is of course a great thing for them. So that's the play. 3-1 score.
That's the play, by the way, Max. If we go to the next map, if Votum win this, that is the moment that we will come back to. That's the one the one that wins it for them if they do get this. If they get this result, because if they go 4-0 up after having such a convincing hold on that round, then, or if they go 4-0 down even, that's the momentum gone. You know, the mental of staring down, you know, the barrel of lost 4 rounds. We just can't seem to do anything right. We've been able to get a good foothold on him, and we still throw it. We still can't get it.
Yeah,
that would have been a killer for them. But right at the right time, Snowball steps up, gets a massive double kill on the ace. That's what you want from your support players. You know, they're in the server to do a job. They're there to bring out the utility, open up walls, get on those drones. But you want them to be the clutch players. They want them to be the players that if it does all come down, when the chips fall, they want to be able to win those 1vx's. And Snowball proved it, did it perfectly. And Votum have at least a lifeline inside of Cafe, and I'm hoping that they can. You know, pardon the pun, I'm hoping they can snowball this through the rest of the match.
Nice. I like it. Creative. Yeah, meanwhile, the first 30 seconds have expired. I think we're just trying to stack up at the bakery. It looks like we're getting a bakery push. Of course, Monty is going to be a very crucial player in this kind of push. Also, Floor's being super successful at taking care of various bits of utility. Deployable shield completely taken care of. No worry about any player playing here in bakery, as all of the defense lines have been taken care of. And then once again, after Mozzie, the Montaigne can just continue to push in further, get further control, just getting ready even to take a shot, but it's more beautiful throw from Shinji, that taking out Smash with an explosion, just sending him to the grave, which is of course a great thing with the Monty up the board. A bit more room for the defenders to work with now, as the Monty with the shield is not constantly looking at them anymore, but still 5 versus 4, which can easily be turned around in favor of Votum.
Linear is what the issue is. They're getting a bit stuck here on this door and just trying to clear prep. They can't quite do it. They can't just get Shinji out of there, who's just holding on so tight. Banquez using the smoke babes there to stop Flipper from pushing up anymore and advancing into the round, though. But a kill comes through from Oppenheimer, but from above, Phantom is waiting for it. Shinji with the final kill as well through into towards prep. But look at that. That was a round there that they looked to have a good push. They cleared the shield really well. They had the push coming through with the Monty. It looked really good. And it all just falls apart. Just unfortunate the way that played out. The C4 lands, and I think that was just a little bit too linear for me. I thought there was just not enough vertical presence at all, or anything really from the other side.
Yeah, the good thing was like the way they were able to deal with the utility in bakery. They were able to take control of the bakery really quickly, which was of course a very good thing from the attack. After that, they just lacked the proper control. Like, of course, we had players upstairs which did do a bit of damage, especially towards the end of the rounds, and just a Monty trying to go for a kill even. Like, that shouldn't even be necessary. Like, why does the Monty need to put away his shield to try to go for some shots? Why cannot just any of his teammates take their position and try to do it for him? Of course, then the C4 comes out, which potentially could have been blocked somehow by the shields. And yeah, that's just one of the things that Monty shouldn't be doing. A Monty should be there to support, to block, to gather information, but not to take the gunfights, especially when you still have 5 attacking players alive.
Yeah, it's tempting to do. This is what can differentiate great Monty players from good Monty players. So the Monty done really well. Don't know who it was on it. Don't know who's getting a little bit of flamer on cast, I guess. But they done really well to take the control of bakery. and then they push up on towards the breach, and then they get in that position where they have the option to either continue pushing or stand in the corner, or kind of give them the teammates option, or they can try and take that gunfight. They can try and hold a cross angle, and it's just so tempting when you're in that position where you kind of think, oh, does no one really know I'm in this angle? Does no one know I'm here? But of course, it's Montaigne. Everybody knows exactly where you are. You are literally a moving mountain. So I think everybody knew exactly where the Monty was in that corner. The call comes through. Shinji just, you know what, here's a C4 signed and sealed and sent to you. And gets the kill from him. Votum here, though, they look a little bit sluggish on this attack. They're still on the top floor here, and they still can't quite get into the actual dropping down anything. I haven't really got any holes at all here, but Prize, though, look at that. He's going to punish Blacklist. Not this time, my friend. Twice you've got me, but not a third. The Flipper's going to go for this rotate round from the white side as well towards the brown staircase and try and bring a different avenue of approach.
Yeah, this could actually be a very interesting approach from Flipper here, because as his approach might not be expected by the defending team. Most attackers are approaching from the top floor, while Flipper is actually approaching from the lower floor. It's making his way into the brown stairs, but of course, the default cam, he needs to take it out, as he can only stay away from the camera for a limited time using his ability. But in the end, still a great position to be in. He might be able to just go for such a strong flank. It's the alibi being super close to him, just being right around the wall to the right in mining. They just don't seem to know about each other's presence yet, but it shouldn't take too long, as Flipper is now getting very close. We'll see the gut of the alibi, and he does get spotted as well, but does still manage to find the kill. There's the alibi taking up the board. It's now 3 versus 5, but as we speak, it's the Snowball Trace getting Oppenheimer getting the kill on Phantom, smash with the kill on Shanks, leaving all Shinji alone in this 1 versus 4 situation. And yeah, this should become a Votum round right here. There is a chance for Shinji to clutch this out, but with 55 seconds and him being the only one alive, things will get very difficult. And then Oppenheimer with the final kill. After Shinji just managed to get one more kill right there, things are going to go to Votum again. That's Votum winning the second round, putting the score on 4-2, and also the end of the first half, where NightWolves will need to play as the attacking team, and Votum will need to play as the defending team.
Shaky start there from Votum. They will be happy with that, though. I think after losing that first 3 rounds, they'll be happy they've managed to claw at least 2 back and not completely lose sight of the match. And they've gone into defense. Mentioned it. This is technically supposed to be an attacker-sided map because of the outside to inside, the vertical play. It's hell to play really on the defense. But the thing is it's one of those maps where, yes, it's attacker-sided, but it requires a lot of coordination. People on angles, people on windows, coordinate together. Things like Consulate is another example of that. Days of Old, it's attacker-sided technically, because it's a nightmare. Trying to retake the basement site after you plant is hell, but it requires a lot of team cohesion and a lot of communication to make sure that you have those angles on lock, and that's what really tests people on Cafe. They can't, people not comfortable with repels, and that's why generally it can actually fall back into being the more defender-sided, and you don't see it become an attacker-sided until you reach the really, really high levels of pro play and whatnot, and that's where, when you have some really good coordination. So I'm hoping that we can see something, though, from the side of NightWolves, and then we can maybe close it out, or Votum can bring us back to a good bit. I know you'll be eager to see the third and final map. I don't know if my voice can take it on a third map though.
I mean, it would be lovely. Screw your voice, I would say, just go for it. If it happens, you're here to cast.
Oh yes.
So I mean, like I've had so many of these situations. I even had to do BO5s at one point. So
yes.
It was the season 3 finals of ESA, and my voice was ruined after that. But I had so much fun. Casting is so much fun. ESA is such a great competition to cast as well. I mean, it's the top tier of console gaming, especially within Europe. Then. And it's just amazing to cast these kind of matches. Meanwhile, it's Flipper opening things for this round. Is taking up Bankus, of course, who enters very sneakily from the bakery door by just opening it slightly. And it's a great way for Flipper to start a round. He needs to be very careful, though, because an player is approaching from the dining area. That's Shinji getting the kill of Flipper there, bringing things back to an equal 4 versus 4.
Yep, gets a kill though, waste some time though, and a little bit of dedication from Shinji. Of course, if you can take a gun away from sight, you would really prefer to take Shinji's, because, I think it's only been 6 rounds and the man's on 9-2 already. Shanks though in the window is going to catch the echo, not paying attention, doesn't hear it, and the headset prize is dealt with, and look at that, 4 versus 2. NightWolves take the aggression, they find Snowball at the same time, but Smash looks to be unannounced at the top of the white staircase. Oppenheimer all the way across on the other side, stranded inside the cigar lounge. Still Smash is on the staircase. The nade goes up, the swing Vision comes through, but can't land the shots. Potatoes a little bit. Shinji punishes that mistake, gets the kill, and the Amaru of Shanks to close it out onto the head of Oppenheimer. And NightWolves take that round on the top floor attack of Cafe pretty convincingly.
Yeah, it almost feels like a statement of NightWolve. Like, so what, you won 2 rounds. It's now up to us attack, and this is what we can do. Those 2 points that you won, just pure luck. They mean nothing to us. And yeah, this is how the rest of this map will continue to go. Just a very, very convincing round from NightWolve right there. A very aggressive round even. And I think it's kind of like it sets the tone. It's a 5-2 score right now. 3 points advantage here from NightWolve. Only 1 point away from the map/match points, and 2 points away from even winning this map, and therefore also the match. So I do think NightWolve is in a very good position, and it's a very good way to start their attack. Like, again, to just send a message to their opponents. I think the message was received by Votum. And they really need to give everything they got from here, because getting just working their way back from this disadvantage will be a hell of a task.
Certainly will, and they have went for quite a controversial choice. They've went back to the same site. They've just lost that in so convincing fashion. Such convincing fashion there. Votum just didn't look comfortable at all. They brought pretty much the same operators. They've gone for the same setup as before. I think they're betting on NightWolves not doing the same attack, not doing that Amaru play, not trying to rush into the site and whatnot. I think that's what they're betting on here. And it looks as though, for the most part, NightWolves aren't going to do that. They haven't brought the Amaru. They haven't actually, went for the same take so far. It looks as though they're going to go for that east side take instead. They come from the cocktail side and put some pressure on that side of things. Shinji downstairs as well. Same as the last time. Smash on this white staircase. This is where they played the last time. Almost had the chance to try and clutch it up, but couldn't quite get across the board. But it's be a little bit quiet. Cafe tends to be. It's a bit of a quiet start because, the attackers have such a trek to get to the top of the map. They have to go all the way to the roof and rappel all the way up. By the time they get there, 40 seconds are already gone, and then you open up the hatches and whatnot. And Smash wants to go out this window. He's fancying it. And is there a claimer on that, Max? I'm not 100% sure there is.
There's one just placed. He should have potentially been able to hear it as well, but it doesn't seem to be able to. Or you're just waiting for someone to just expose himself too much so you can get the kill from the window without needing to jump out. Clearly not any jump out happening so far, which is a good thing from the Jaeger because he would have survived it. He could potentially get 1 kill while he's jumping, but that's all he could potentially get. So good thing that he didn't do it yet. And so far the round will just go on. Attackers have mostly got control over the top floor. Hatches have been opened up. They didn't really make any entry yet, so they're all just hanging on the windows, standing on top of the rooftop, just waiting for a way in. Flashbangs are coming out, however, so we might see an entry happening right here. I'm not exactly sure who it is. It's the Finka and the Nomad hanging on the windows here. A bit of an unfortunate throw there, but Bank is in a good position to potentially fight someone down in pillars.
Yeah, and Upside Down Rappel here, just trying to get an angle on the person just hanging around towards that cave side of things. And Flipper is the one that lurks in there, has a C4 and is going to use it for a rotate because he knows he can't get out of that situation without taking a gunfight towards that Upside Down Rappel, which is not looking fun at all. Shinji's managed to sneak his way in toward the laundry though, so the Mozzie has to be careful. Flipper has to be wary of that. Shanks though doesn't really care. He's in to find the kill, and swinging into the window is Banquez. Now has control of Heaven, and 5 versus 3 now as Shinji finds another. It's Smash, Banquez with another. Prize, and 5 versus 2 scenario, though the smoke can do nothing but accept death inside a freezer. Banquez closes it out onto Oppenheimer, and NightWolves go on to series point.
Series point indeed, a 6-2 score, meaning that is map point and series points. And if they just manage to win 1 more round, they will win this match of today and will proceed into the second round of the lower bracket. And then Votum would be eliminated out of this competition, which is of course something they do not want. They are up for a very tough test to work things around. They need to win 4 rounds in a row to able to bring this map to overtime and still have a chance to win this map and then have another chance in the third map. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, especially if we look at the scoreboard right here, things are just going very well on the side of NightWolve. Just Phantom staying a little bit behind first team, but that's completely fine. He's playing mostly supports, and on the side of Votum, actually, yeah, most people are just doing their job as well. It's kind of evenly spread out, but just a lot less kills compared to their opponents. So not a single round has been won based on a defuse or whatsoever. Every round was based on kills happening. So it's kind of like a team deathmatch right here so far. And yeah, it's really up to Votum to work things around, but like I said, the chances are fairly slim.
10 seconds to go.
That's just the way NightWolves are playing. They're just bringing the aggression. I mentioned it in the last map that they really heated up, and I felt that Votum really had to try and stifle the flame a little bit when it came into Cafe. I think they needed to get a couple of rounds on the board. They need to really slow them down, and they just haven't been able to do that. And you know, NightWolves have pretty much run away with it. And I think that this round would likely go towards NightWolves. I don't want to, you know, Caster Curse. Maybe a Caster Curse would be a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing actually, because maybe if we do that, then Votum will win it, and then whatnot, and then we'll get ourselves onto another map. But we never know. We never know. It's a different site though. That's certainly something that we do know. It is going to be the library and fireplace site. So it's a different, or library reading, whatever you want to call it. You know, there's a couple of ways to call it, but different site, middle floor. Hopefully we have something better and a little different setup to try and win this one for Votum.
Yeah, I think I seem to want to go for the top floor first, which is a very understandable thing. Currently 2 defenders are located on this top floor, and as long as the defenders have control over this top floor, they have a good position from where they can deny the bomb site from above. So it will be a good thing for the attackers to take control over this. Meanwhile, Smash will kill on Shanks and Shinji will kill on Smash. So it's now 4 versus 4 situation. Attackers are playing very aggressive, and of course they can, because they have the room for error. They're currently 4 points ahead of their opponents, and then Blacklist with a kill on Flipper, and Pyres with a kill on Blacklist. It's now just a 3 versus 3. It's equal, but just NightWolves being on a very, very aggressive play. It's meanwhile Bankus also just standing ready on the pillar room. The door, the castle barricade was already dealt with, so he can just hop into the bomb site if he desires to. There's just one player just waiting for him, so this could be a very good thing, especially if Oppenheimer will be distracted from, let's say, above, where the attackers now have the control they wanted to get. So they're now in a very good position. Every single defender is playing in either one of the bomb sites or near them, so attackers have got the proper control. They just start putting some pressure, especially with someone with a shotgun. No, it was a shotgun, but it must be the castle. But from here things will get very difficult for the defenders.
Oppenheimer's down though from a little bit of vertical play, and it's not looking ideal. I didn't think it was vertical play, actually. It was just a gunfight from Banquet. So nade's still in the hand, and Shinji's used these nades very well across the entire series so far. Shinji also finds the final shot on Oppenheimer to deal with that though. Prize though is going to find one and is going to fight with every morsel of their being to try and keep them inside, and it looks as though Votum might do just that. Snowball finds Phantom on the other side. Banquet is now in a 1 versus 2 scenario, and is this the light, the match, or the, you know, the flame, the flicker of flame to light the flame underneath their bum to get them through to the rest of this match, or are we going to see it snuffed out so shortly? I don't know how it's going to play out, Max. What do you think?
It's very unfortunate that Bankus doesn't have the diffuser, because of course his opponent, the Rook, did jump down the hatch, which did get some opportunity to the Pinker to potentially go for a plant if she did have the diffuser, but unfortunately she did not. She was forced to go for the gunfights. She was very low on HP. She does find the castle, and this is then a round win for Votum. Votum adding 1 more point to the score, a 6-3, which is at least a good thing for them. They do create some options here, but still their opponent has double the amount of points, and that's worrying, of course. They need to be very careful. They can technically, of course, win 3 rounds and make it a 6-6, but like I already said before, the chances are slim, even though they just did increase the chances a little bit.
Yeah, it's just it was a bit shaky there, a little bit shaky. Got a bit too close for comfort, I think there. Yeah. But Votum will be happy with that. They'll be happy they got that on the board. And the thing is that Votum haven't, outside of what we've seen from Snowball, they haven't had someone that can really take this game by the scruff of the neck, like what we've seen Shinji do. 14-4 on this second map. You know, the last map they got 17 kills. So, 31 kills across the series already, and we're only in map 2. So we're 9 rounds into this map 2. If this goes to overtime, Shinji could, we could end up with I would imagine we could end up with a kill record actually if it do get to a 3rd map.
Potentially.
If it was to get there. So Votum, they, I think, need someone that can do that. They can step up. Snowball's done it twice on this map. We've seen it that round there, and we've seen it the round on the attack as well. So it's been a good performance from them so far. They'll be happy with that. They just need the rest of the team to start coming around together and getting these kills in the right moments and seeing if they can try and get something together, a little bit of form here. And it looks as though Shanks is going to bring them onto this time and try to play that strat against them.
Yeah, maybe he can show how it's actually done. Of course, it was Votum was unsuccessful with this kind of strategy. And actually, there's no one in Bakery. How is there no one in Bakery up to this moment? The attackers are just giving so much free space. You just get further control. I don't think the defenders are ready for this. The multis are already prepared, getting further into prep room, just getting more and more control. I don't know whether it's anyone playing above them yet. There is, so you need to be very careful of the Mozzie, who's playing right above at this moment. Yeah. He has made some holes, so he can technically find the multi from above. So you need to be extremely careful. But at the meantime, the defenders are able to put so much pressure. There's ace charges coming out. They have opened some walls. They could technically go for an execute very soon.
This is a choice, by the way. This could go completely disastrous, though. But look, a couple of shots come into Shanks there. Just feels it on his heels. Flipper even is able to get Banquez down. And NightWolves at least lose one member. And Votum at least feel a little bit more confident with that. They also shield playing part just behind this bakery bar. Smash is able to find Shanks. And that is the Monty gone. The focal point of the attack is dead. And now they're going to be comfortable. NightWolves are on the back foot here. They have at least, got the control up the bakery. But Votum gave them that. They were like, you know what? Have bakery. We don't care about even defending it. We're going to make some holes above. We're going to make sure that we have some angles to hold on to you, and it's paid dividends so far. Of course, a minute and 20 seconds left, and Shinji's still alive, so he'll certainly have something to say about this.
Yes, surely. Shinji, of course, the star player for the team. If someone is going to get killed, it could potentially be him. He's in a good position. He's in bakery. He has some new lines of sight that could help him. All the shields already placed, but still a bit of utility, like 2 EMP nades. I'm not sure how they could potentially help him, but at least they do have some options. But Phantom just find an opening. He's just hopping in. The player on red stairs, but he can just get past him. Are they able to cover him, however? Like, it seems like that Shinji is completely distracted, isn't able to cover, and unfortunately Snowball with the kill on Phantom, not being able to get the diffuser down. It would have been a beautiful thing just to happen, and as Shinji adds one more kill to his kill count, he gets taken out, and it's another Votum win. A 6-4 score, Votum getting even closer and closer to potentially bringing this to a 6-6 score, but still NightWolve a 2-point advantage.
Some momentum. This is the first time in a little while the Votum have had it, and this is where the sweat will start to drip on the forehead of NightWolves. They'll be feeling a little bit, they can feel them coming up from behind and maybe sneak attacking and taking this map out from under them. It looks as though Votum are hungry for it. I'm happy to see it. I like the strat. Okay, I was teeing up. I think both of us were a little bit shocked. I think we were teeing up to go, what was going on here? Give them bakery. Interesting. But they had an angle available. They had an idea of what they wanted to do. They made sure to kill the Monty from behind, and they knew. It was almost like they knew that there was going to be a Monty, and that was how they wanted to counter it. They didn't really want to focus on holding onto it because they knew. You bring them onto, you're going to take bakery, let's be honest. You're going to get the bakery hold that you need. We've seen them do it on their attack so successfully. They got bakery within, 40 seconds of the round starting. They had the bakery hold, and it was almost like, what's the point in us wasting all this utility and wasting all this, or guns and concentrating on this when we can just give it to them and then just try and counter-strap. Worked perfectly, was beautifully done, and Votum are now looking like they could come back into this.
Yeah, agreed. And as Votum now managed to win 2 defensive rounds in a row, they need to go to the less preferred bomb site, and this is not exactly the bomb site you would expect in this kind of situation. You would kind of expect them to go for reading, but instead they've decided to go to mining. I can't even recall the last time I have seen mining.
I will take you back, actually. I will take you back a little bit, because what's happened is they lost the top floor twice, and they won reading site. So that's why. So they won reading, and then they won kitchen. So that's why they're here. They don't want to go back to the top floor because they know it's just not a place they want to be. So that's why we're going to go to Fireplace to see if they can put this up. So that's why they can see it often. They're just terrified of the top floor, I think.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so they're currently on the top bomb site. They might potentially win it. They might have prepared for it even. So we'll see how it goes. A technical timeout from NightWolves did not come out yet. I can imagine if they will lose this round, then it will come out, of course, after they lose 3 rounds in a row. But for now, it's all up to this round. And things are starting out well. It's Flipper being taken out by a nade coming from Shinji. So at least one less player to worry about. And the attackers are now making their way in. Things are will be going down. It's Oppenheimer currently playing on the top floor, but heading his way down. We're leaving Price all alone. Currently playing in the washrooms. Potentially his position might not be known as the drone's coming out. His position will be called out. He's now in top position. Nobody already heading into his position to take him out. Does get the kill. And now it's a 5 versus 3 within the first 1.5 minutes.
Yep, great performance here so far on that top floor clear. They just came, it seems as though they've stopped and slowed down the last couple of rounds, and this time NightWolves decided, you know what, we're going to get back to our form. We're going to just hunt these players down on the top floor. They send the drones in, they send a couple of players in to try and get the kills there. Luckily, Shanks, lucky for Shanks that his head didn't come clean off there. The Warden did swing it and almost got the kill there. Banquez gets another one onto Snowball this time, and it looks as though Votum could be heading home unless Oppenheimer or Smash step up here and get themselves this big clutch. They spotted out for a second there, but it's a 5 versus 1, and look at that, Matt. They go home, unfortunately. NightWolves take the map on Cafe, and they take it in pretty convincing fashion in the end. Shinji with a great performance, and NightWolves are going to head through to the next stage in this bracket.
Indeed, it will be Votum, of course, being eliminated in this case, and NightWolve's proceeding, which is, of course, a great thing for them. It's just a matter of time until we find out which opponent they're going to be playing against, because, of course, they will be playing against the loser of the upcoming match next week on Monday, which would be, let me just quickly check. I mean, we can actually bring the bracket quickly up if we want to know. It's the upper bracket. We can just see it here. It's Minions versus the Tracker Clan. I mean, Minions, of course, one of those teams who is no flawless score from the group stage, where Tracker, of course, had a bit of tougher time. I think they were a third team. So technically, the Minions should have get a pretty good shot there. But either way, the loser of that match will be playing against, or am I saying that correctly, though? I might actually be saying that completely wrong. No, that's actually completely wrong. They will be playing against the loser of upper bracket round 2, match 4. So Villains versus E-Wave. Yeah. Sorry, I was saying completely wrong. So Villains versus E-Wave indeed. So yeah, that's where NightWolves now will be heading to. Of course, it will take 2 weeks till we see them again. But for now, it's goodbye E-Wave. They are the ones who are being eliminated, and a beautiful match. It was a beautiful match for them to go down with. Of course, they did their absolute best. They had a very good show right here. They did an amazing job, but just NightWolves just being better in this case, just performing better today, and therefore deservedly winning this second map as well. So yeah, anything you want to say about this map for today?
I want to just highlight quickly. I want to give them credit on the stream. I want to highlight that is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen in on console anyway from a Niantic player. Outstanding. And 17 kills on both maps. Great. So you want for your entry. Cool. Okay. Kill everybody. That's what you want, right? But the use of the nades, they made sure that almost every single nade that they used either found its mark onto a player or found its mark onto some sort of utility. It was brilliant. And then the overall usage of the Gemini clones as well. See the amount of times that I thought that it was the actual player that was using the entry, and 9 times out of 10 you think it will be. You think they're oh, well, what's he doing already inside the map? You know, it's not. It's a Gemini clone, and it never gets used. I would love to see the statistics on how many times he used that drone, because it was brilliantly done. Utility was used to its full potential. Kills were there. Perfect encapsulation of how to entry. And if anyone watches the VOD for this, and anyone wants to learn how to entry, that was a perfect example of it.
Indeed, it's a very cool stream to watch back if you want to learn things. Also for both of these teams, of course, there's always things you can learn from rewatching VODs. So I'm really hoping that all teams, even if you're Votum who had lost today, I really hope that they will rewatch this stream to actually learn some things, because there's some valuable information here. Of course, there's now the match replay function within Siege, which potentially even gives a little bit more information than an actual stream, but still also the expertise of a caster or so. Can be very valuable. So I really hope that both of these will watch it back, and especially, of course, NightWolves will need it throughout the remainder of this competition, as they now will be heading into the lower bracket round 2. Yeah, so that's basically the match for today. We will be back on Wednesday. It will be actually a pretty big match. It will be Penta versus Stark. Penta, of course, coming from Group B, if I'm saying correctly. Yeah, Group B. They were the second team in Group B. Did an amazing job there. Did unfortunately lose against a Molotov Gang Germany, the team that they picked, which was a third placement team, which they picked.
That was a shock.
That was a shock indeed, because they were actually people were really impressed that Penta even picked Molotov Gang Germany, because of course they're one of the better third place teams. But Penta just really had probably some pretty good plans, some good expectations. Picked them as their opponents, the fellow German team, but did not manage to win a single map, unfortunately. So Penta now in the lower bracket will be playing against Stark, who we did not see previously, as they started in the lower brackets. They were the fourth team in Group C. So technically, it could be a good match for Penta, but again, they weren't in the same group, so they haven't met each other yet. So potentially, that could be a good match as well. And that match will be provided by you and me as well. So we'll see everyone on Wednesday again. Unless you have anything left to say, then we're going to call it.
I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure that we got that performance for Shinji, because, like I say, one of the best performances I've seen on an Iana player, and not just for the kills, and that's why I want to highlight it.
Yeah, that's a well-earned MVP spot right there in both of those maps. So you will certainly see him on Wikipedia as well, highlighted as the MVP, because he did really deserve it. So for now, I want to wish everyone a great evening. Also, thank you, Chamberlain, for casting with me. That's actually the first time that we're casting together with face cams on, which is always cool to finally see each other's faces, you know, like on the stream, which makes things a bit more personal, really. But for now, I want to thank everyone for watching. Also, Votum, thank you for participating in this competition. We hope to see you in the near future, potentially. But for now, everyone, thank you for watching, and we'll hope to see you all on Wednesday when it's Penta versus Stark. So good evening, and see you all later. Bye-bye.
Yeah.